I'm Bridget with Rescue Heat and Air in Claremore. I just wanted to take a second and share with you the positive experience that I have had. Took over our marketing account a little over a month ago and has worked on increasing our presence on Google. It has been overwhelming, the response that we have had. They have been amazing in getting our presence on Google out there. And not only that, but Robert has also been great at helping us with just little minor things just to keep our business going and to really add a little extra flair to it. So I just want to say it has been just absolutely amazing for our company.
My name is Robert Redmond. I actually first met Clay almost 3 years ago to the day. I don't know if he remembers it or not. Since working with Clay, I have learned so much. I mean, I would like to say almost everything about business in terms of the different categories. I haven't learned it all. But I've learned all about marketing. I've learned about advertising. I've learned about branding. I've learned how to create a sales process for organizations in any industry. I've learned how to sell. I've learned how to create repeatable systems and processes and hold people accountable. How to hire people. It's almost like every aspect of a business you can learn. I have learned a lot in those different categories. And then again, the mindset that I've gained here has been huge. Working here, you can't be a mediocre person. You are a call to a higher standard of excellence, and then as you're called to that standard here, you begin to see those outcomes in every area of your life. That standard of excellence that you want to implement, no matter what you're involved in. I would like to describe the other people that work with Clay are people that are going somewhere with their life. Marshall in the group interview talks about how the best fits for this organization are the people that are goal-oriented. So they're on their own trajectory, and we're on our own trajectory. And the best fits are those people where there can be a mutually beneficial relationship, that as we pursue our goals and we help the business pursue those goals, the business helps us pursue our goals as well. And so I'd say people that are driven, people that want to make something of their lives, people that are goal-oriented, they're focused, and they're committed to overcoming any adversity that may come their way. Clay's passion for helping business owners grow their businesses it's unique in that I don't know if there's anyone else that can be as passionate. Whenever a business starts working with Clay, it's almost as like Clay is running that business in the sense that he has something at stake. He's just serving them. They're one of his clients, but it's as if he is actively involved in the business. Whenever they have a win, he's posting it all over his social media. He's shouting it across the room here at Thrive. He's sending people encouraging messages. He can kind of be that life coach and business coach in terms of being that a motivator and that champion for people's businesses. It's again unique because there's no one else I've seen get so excited about and passionate about other people's businesses. The kind of people that wouldn't like working with Clay are people that are satisfied with mediocrity. People that want to get through life by just doing enough, by just getting by. People who are not looking to develop themselves, people who are not coachable, people who think that they know it all and they're unwilling to change. I would say those are the type of people. In short, anyone that's content with mediocrity would not like working with Clay. So if you're meeting Clay for the first time, the advice I'd give you is definitely come ready to take tons of notes. Every time Clay speaks, he it gives you a wealth of knowledge that you don't want to miss. I remember the first time that I met Clay, I literally carried a notebook with me all around. I was looking at this notebook the other day, actually. I carried a notebook with me all around, and I just took tons of notes. I filled the entire notebook in about 3 or 4 months, just from being around Clay, following him, and learning from him. And then I would say, come coachable. Be open to learning something new. Be open to challenging yourself. Be open to learning and adjusting parts about you that need to be adjusted. I think Clay loves his turkey, chickens, and cats. First of all, because Clay actually spent some time on a farm, I believe in Minnesota. He talks about how his uncle, who's been somewhat of a mentorship figure to him, spent time on a farm with him. And I remember a story that he tells where he says that he didn't wake up on time, and his uncle was telling him, hey, if you don't wake up on time, you're not going to eat. And he didn't wake up on time, and he didn't eat. And there's another time where he didn't try hard at a basketball game. And his uncle said, hey, since you're not trying hard, you're going to walk home. And he literally walked home. So he had that farm experience. But I think on a deeper layer, turkeys and chickens and cats, they're not too dramatic. And I know that Clay does not like dealing with gossip, with drama, with negative emotions. And then, those animals kind of have an aspect of purity to them. And I believe that deep down that Clay loves anything that is wholesome, good, and pure.
Want to attend the legendary Thrive Time Show Business Workshop for free? Subscribe on iTunes, leave an objective review, and send us confirmation at info@thrivetimeshow.com to claim your tickets. Want to live in a van down by the river? Come by and see us at our Riverwalk offices, and we'll be able to make your dreams come true.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the conversation. It is the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. Now, each and every show that we do is committed to helping you learn what you need to know to create both time freedom and financial freedom. The freedom to do what you want to do with both your time and your money. And one of the areas that I get probably the most pushback from early clients, and then the thing that they thank me the most about is they don't want to commit to a sustainable three-legged marketing stool. So I'm going to go ahead and praise a client right now that's really, really doing a great job with their business. But I want to talk to you about how the business looked before he committed to this idea. So if you're listening right now, I want you to go ahead and do a Google search for Score Basketball. And then, Shep, I want to put this at the very, very top of the show notes there. I want to put the example of scoreball.com so that way people can see a business that's implementing this system real time. So scoreball.com. So what's his three-legged marketing stool? Well, I'm going to tell you his three-legged marketing stool right now, and Chup's going to go ahead and put them on the show notes, okay? One is he has ongoing search engine optimization, which means that he has a steady regimen of content that he creates every single week that as long as he does that, he'll never be anything but top in Google. He'll always be top in Google when you type in Tulsa basketball lessons or Tulsa basketball camps. He'll always be top in Google because Chup, he's committed to consistently doing the same thing every single week. Every single week. Now, this is, again, we're talking about a three-legged marketing stool. What does that mean? A three-legged marketing stool, a stool is sturdy when it has multiple legs, right? So you have one leg, another leg, another leg. And that's what makes the stool. That's what makes the stool stable. Is that now if you sat down and one of those legs wasn't stable and it collapsed, that's not a stable stool. Now, right. Don't ever think this, but a lot of business owners just have one aspect of marketing that their whole business is dependent upon. You have one vendor right now who gives you all of your business. Right. One client that gives you all of the business you need. That's the one
source of leads that you maybe are the only person that can close those leads.
Right. So you want to have not one, but you have multiple sources. Now, Chup, his ongoing search engine optimization requires that he produces content every week. Why is that so profound that he's committed to doing that? For the past 6 years, I've worked with the guy. Why is that so profound that he does it every week?
Well, society might say that doing that is crazy. But guess what? Since he's done it, he's literally top, or at least top of the map for every single search term that relates to Tulsa and basketball and all of the surrounding areas. So yes, he did the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over for 6 years, and it paid off big time.
Now, leg number two. He gathers Google reviews from happy clients. Now, if you Google Score Basketball Tulsa, he's got a couple different locations there. How many reviews does Coach Calvert and Score Basketball have today? Because if you're listening out there and you want to teach your kids how to become better at the game of basketball and help them play at a college or maybe professional level, I would encourage you to go to scoreball.com if you're in the Tulsa area, and you can schedule your first lesson. I believe your first lesson is free.
Oh.
Ooh. So how many reviews does he have today?
He's got 124.
124 reviews. So again, you just commit to now, Chuck, why do you want to commit to gathering reviews from real customers every week? I mean, why would you want to do it every week?
Well, getting to the top of Google is a process, and we've talked about it on many, many shows. But to the quick summation of this is that getting Google reviews is the most powerful and fast tool you can do as the business owner yourself to get you to the top of that first page of Google, because the map listing is at the top of the first page.
So again, leg number one, ongoing search engine optimization. Leg number two, Google reviews. Chuck, are you ready for the third one?
I'm so ready.
It's consistent online advertising. And then I'm going to put the subpoints under that, okay? So the consistent online advertising. And that consists of YouTube ads. They're ads that pre-roll on YouTube. So if you go to watch like a TD Jakes video or a Cat video or a LeBron James highlight or anything,
right,
the videos pull up and they begin to play before you watch the video. And our coders will set that up for you.
It's cool because, right, tell me if I'm wrong here, but somebody might be searching in your geographical area correct way to shoot a free throw.
Right.
And then your Score Basketball Camp ad would pop up in front of that, and you go, oh my gosh.
And here's what happens. Anybody who's ever searched for basketball camps or basketball lessons in Google is shown those ads on YouTube,
right,
as a result of their geography, where they're living. So the second move we do is retargeting ads. Now, those are ads that follow people around the internet to virtually every website. So you might go to Tulsa World, or you might go to CNN, or you might go to Fox News, or you might go to Brainy Quotes, or any website, and the ads will follow you around because of the retargeting pixel. Now, Chuck, he also does Facebook ads. Now, we commit to a regimen of about $600 a week between all three of those. And,
right.
Chuck, do you know why we don't spend more on advertising than $600 a week for Score Basketball? Because, on the show, we preach that you should spend about 10% of your gross revenue on advertising if you're in aggressive growth mode, and 5% if you're just trying to maintain. Why do we not even spend 5% of the gross revenue for Coach Calvert on advertising?
I'm going to educated guess here, that he's pushing close to capacity, or he can't handle more clients at this moment.
And the business exists to serve him. And if he wanted to open up another location, if he did open up another location, if he went through the effort of leasing another space, building out another space, finding another space, doing the things needed to grow another location, then it would make sense.
Right.
But if you're turning down people because you're perpetually booked out, I mean, he has basketball camps where they are just so full, then you wouldn't make any sense to keep advertising. Now, Ben Horowitz, can you read us this notable quotable from Ben Horowitz? This is the guy who built Opsware. It was a company he built and he sold to Hewlett-Packard for $1.6 billion of cash. And he's also the co-founder of Andreessen Horowitz, the venture capital firm.
So he says, you can't succeed by making something just a little better. People are fundamentally lazy. Ouch. And they're not going to adopt something unless it's at least 10 times better than what they already have. The incumbents are happy to make lots of money offering customers something that they're familiar with. And to win, you have to build a breakthrough, a no-brainer, major enough to cannibalize the business.
So you have to, Coach Calvert had to create an experience that was significantly better than the competition.
And bragging, he did it. When I very first started working with you, I was shooting video 3 years ago, and I used to go out there and shoot video at his camp, and I grew up playing sports, and I'm looking at this thing, 200 kids out here at one camp. I'm like, this is awesome.
Now, again, he's competing against the University of Tulsa basketball camp, the Oral Roberts University basketball camp, the Nike camp, the Oklahoma City Thunder
Russell,
camp.
yeah, Westbrook, yeah.
And now he's the biggest camp in Oklahoma.
Awesome.
Now, Reid Hoffman, Chup. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn and one of the early founders of the PayPal company, he says, what?
The only way to really scale is by taking bets that might reduce your opportunity. This is especially true of your branding and marketing. People have a tendency to say, I want to define my product as the best in the marketplace. You have to eschew. You have to eschew that kind of vagueness viciously. Of course, when you say, this is who I am, some customers will respond, nope, not interested. But if you don't make those sorts of bold statements, you can never really learn whether people want what you are offering.
Now, this is big. This is big because if you are having a business like a Coach Calvert does in any industry, and you're afraid to make it significantly different than anybody else, you're going to lose.
You can't be a chameleon.
And so this is what we worked on with Coach Calvert. And this is a big thing. This is a breakthrough. This is a one-time event that your coach can help you do. But at Score B-Ball, what we did is I told Coach, we got to come up with something that makes us different than everybody else. What are we going to do? And we agreed on doing this move for first-time visitors.
It was the one where you can teach anybody to dunk within 10 minutes?
Not that one.
Okay.
But if you're a first-time visitor, it's free. So if you want to attend Score Basketball and you're a first-time visitor, it's free.
It's huge.
Again, you get to try it before you buy it. It's one free group lesson. And we had to come up with that. Also, he's a Christian business owner, and so I did not encourage him to do that, but he did it himself. He wanted to put Bible verses and positive verses all around his gym because he said he wanted to mentor kids about the game of life and not just business.
Yeah.
Now, once you've got your differentiator there and you've talked to your business coach and you've developed what you think is your purple cow or your unique offering, your thing that makes you different, now what you got to do is you got to go out there and launch that three-legged stool. Now, Chup, Seth Godin, the marketing expert, the New York Times bestselling author and the founder of Yo-Yo Dime, which was sold to Yahoo for $30 million, says what?
He says that marketing is a contest for people's attention, and I love the brevity of this quote.
Yes.
Because once you understand this, I was talking about trade show earlier in the show. I've got a few clients that are doing trade shows right now, and what I keep telling them is this exact quote. Marketing is a competition for people's attention. You're at a trade show. You have got to stand out. You've got to be that person that people are like, whoa, I'm going to go check that out.
You know, and a lot of people want to fight that idea. They want to fight the idea that marketing is getting people's attention. So they're, conservative with the advertising. They're conservative with the marketing. And so they don't launch a three-legged marketing stool. But then Jeff Hoffman, the former CEO of Priceline, would say what, Chup?
Without sales, you have no business.
Could you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry. I was distracted. As you were saying that, I was trying to come up with a new idea and avoid marketing. Could you do that again?
Avoid sales. Without sales, you have no business.
Could you repeat that again? While you were talking about that, what I was doing was talking about a new idea, and I wanted to talk about making the font 2% smaller on my website. I was trimming up my sideburns. I wanted to make my font 2% smaller on the website. Could you say that again? I'm sorry.
Without sales, you have no business.
I'm sorry, I wasn't able to hear that.
There is no business without sales.
Well, you were saying that. I wasn't.
Business equals sales.
I'm sorry.
Sales equals business.
While you were just saying
money.
While you were just saying that, I was talking about a new product idea I had. You have to sell something.
Gotta sell something. Come up with that new product, but sell stuff first. Be fruitful, then multiply.
The goal is to build a time freedom and financial freedom creating business, not a job that is 100% dependent upon you and 100% non-delegatable. Thus, we must focus on creating turnkey marketing systems that have the ability to generate you leads for your business without you personally having to go out there and generate the new business. Many self-employed people fall into the trap. Look, it's a trap of being the only person within your organization who can generate leads, sales, and essentially life-giving income to the business. You want to develop a three-legged marketing stool that is not dependent upon just one marketing system, and so that you can consistently generate leads regardless of whether you're on vacation or not. You got to get this. See, on your business, on a successful business, you've got to build. If you want to build a successful business, you've got to work on it, and you have to build a marketing system that generates a lead that's not dependent upon you and your personal efforts. So it's really cool if you've been able to generate leads for years as a result of networking. But it's really not cool if that's all you can do moving forward, because you want to build a system that's not dependent upon your personal efforts. When we come back, we're going to talk about the difference between turnkey lead generation and personal effort-related lead generation. Stay tuned. It's the Thrive Time Show on your radio.
It's your year to thrive. Success you will find. Today is your day, and now is your time.
This moment is profound because you're above the ground. Your road might have been rough, but what you got now is now. We're here.
Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
All right, Thrive Nation, we're talking about building time freedom as a result of creating a repeatable process for generating leads to grow your business. Now, when your business is profitable and you're confident that it's going to survive, then it is time to build your business's 4 core systems, says Jeff Hoffman, the former CEO of Priceline. So let me walk you through the systems that he believes that you should build, that I believe you should build, that we believe you should build. So again, marketing. That is a competition for what, Chuck? Marketing is just a competition for
People's attention.
That's Seth Godin talking to you. This is the author, the best-selling author of The Purple Cow, the guy who sold his company Yo-Yo-Dine to Yahoo, a marketing guru. He says marketing is just a contest for people's attention. You've got to understand. Don't overthink it. That's all you're doing.
It's that simple. It's like you just got to get them to notice you.
So you might say, well, okay, so how do I do that? Okay, well, step one, you get your branding. Make sure your branding looks good. Make sure your website looks good, your print pieces look good, your videos look good, your marketing. Make sure that looks good. Now, once that does look good, now it's time to choose 3 marketing legs. Now, you say, why a 3-legged stool? Well, because it's more sturdy, right? If you're dependent upon just one form of marketing, you could lose all of your leads at just one person's decision could cause you to go out of business. And so here are the strategies that I would recommend that you would discuss with your business coach because they work very, very well. Search engine optimization. Now, search engine optimization is what I would call a long-term strategy. It's not a midterm. It's not a short-term. It's going to take you a long time to get to the top of Google because Google indexes and ranks websites. It determines who should be on page 1 based upon those 4 variables that we discuss so often here on the radio show. But the 4 being your mobile compliance. It has to look good on a mobile device. That's a one-time event. You can do that pretty quick with one of our developers or coders. The second is you have to have the most canonical compliance. Again, that's a one-time event. We've written a format and a layout that has been proven to rank high in Google search results. So if you Google Tulsa cookies, you'll see Barbie cookies. If you Google Tulsa mortgages, you'll see Total Ending Concepts and Steve Currington. If you Google search Tulsa men's haircuts, you'll see Elephant in the Room. If you Google search Broken Arrow men's haircuts, you'll see Elephant in the Room. If you Google search, again, Tulsa cookies, you'd see Barbie cookies. If
Oklahoma City Auto Repair, Shepherd Automotive.
You're going to see it because that's a system. But again, how you get to be top in Google is whoever has the most content, which requires you to write a lot of content. 2, whoever has the most reviews. 3, whoever has the most mobile compliance, and whoever has the most canonical compliance. So it takes a long time to get those reviews, and it takes a long time to write the content. So that's a longer-term play. The second leg that you may consider, and based upon your industry, every industry is different, but you might want to look at doing mailers. Mailers? No one responds to mailers. You're right. 97% of people do not respond to mailers, but 3% of people do. So what you want to do is if you know all of my ideal and likely buyers live in that that 1 mile radius. They all live in that part of town. You see, they all live in that area. You see, if I'm like a car dealership and I sell luxury cars and all of the people who can afford to buy my cars live within that 5 to 10 mile area of town.
It's a numbers game, right?
I'm going to just mail and mail and mail and mail and mail that area till you can't forget my name. Then another move that you can use, this is powerful, is I would create a Dream 100 campaign. Now, a Dream 100 campaign is where you would make sure that you physically go where your top 100, you'd go to the top 100 locations that are visited most often from those ideal and likely buyers. So if you're selling luxury cars, most of the people who live in those nice neighborhoods probably go to Whole Foods.
Right.
They probably go to Starbucks. And so you'd make a consistent marketing effort to make sure that your branding and marketing is, like, you might put up signs on the road right by the Starbucks if you can. You might do mailers right to the neighborhood right there. You might want to team up with the local yoga business and make sure that you're sponsoring the store. You want to have and your coach can help you develop a Dream 100 strategy. But Chet Holmes, the best-selling author of The Ultimate Sales Machine, writes, about 3% of potential buyers at any given time are buying now. 7% of the population is open to the idea of buying. The remaining 90% fall into one of each of these three categories. The top third are not thinking about it. The next third they think they're not interested. And the final third are definitely not interested. Chup, why do you have to be consistent with your marketing? Why can't you just market for like a month to get that 3% and then be done?
Because you got to be top of mind, and you're not going to be top of mind in a month. It's not going to happen. I think on average is an ad week that says 4.7 times that somebody has to interact with your brand before they make a buying decision.
Yeah, check this out. If you read a book called Retargeting Playbook, you'll find that the average person has to encounter a brand or product that actually solves their problems.
Right.
It's not just you can't convince people, like you couldn't convince me to ever sign up for yoga. No matter what you did, no matter what your pitch was, no matter how motivated you were, I would never under any circumstance sign up for yoga. And I would also never under any circumstance at all be interested at all unless my wife somehow convinces me to do it. I never want to leave the continental United States ever again. I hate leaving the United States. I've been to Roatan. I've been to Honduras. I've gone on cruises where we've gone to, you go out there to Jamaica, to Belize, to Brazil, to Mexico, to Canada. I've been to these places, and under no circumstance, no matter what kind of mailer you send to my family, I do not, under any circumstance, want to leave the United States, the continental United States. I don't want to go to Hawaii. I don't want to go with you to the Philippines. I want to just stay on land, Chup.
I'm going to make it a personal goal of mine.
Yes.
To get you to do yoga on a beach outside the United States. It's going to happen.
I did hot yoga for 30 seconds with my wife.
Quit. You're like, no.
Yeah, I went in there, and this is how the lady was talking. She says, I want everyone to do the vinyasa. And I said to Vanessa, I go, why is she whispering? And everyone's like,
why did she mispronounce your name, Vanessa?
Everyone's like, shh. The whole thing was weird. But you want to work with your coach on designing your three-legged marketing stool. That could be launching YouTube ads. That could be retargeting ads. That could be launching Google AdWords. That could be launching Facebook ads. We have an entire section of the Boom Book, which is kind of our business coach curriculum, devoted to helping you as the entrepreneur learn what systems are out there and what systems are the best for you. But then once you figure out with your coach what you believe to be the lowest hanging fruit, the top 3 legs of your marketing stool, you've got to launch those ads, launch those marketing efforts, and you've got to be consistent for 90 days while tracking the results.
I was just about to say that. You must track the results. That's the reason you don't want to launch with 80 different marketing legs.
Well, I'm going to have you put this on the show notes as action items for all the listeners. We need to make sure we launch our ads for at least 90 days and that we track the results on a weekly basis. You've got to track those results on a weekly basis or you won't know what's working and what's not working. It's so important that you track every single inbound lead and you say, hey, how did you first hear about us? Where did you come from? And when we come back, we're going to talk about the execution of systems. And that absolutely cannot be done without creating daily checklists for everything. Stay tuned to the Thrive Time Show on your radio.
Broadcasting live from the center of the universe. It's Business School Without the BS. Featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur, Dr. Robert Zellner, with USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark.
It is the Thrive Time Show. Let your boo begin, where we drop knowledge bombs for you in Portland. Teaching the proven systems to make your ends so you can produce the greenery like all the Oregon. Sue will call you Franklin cause you got Benjamins. We'll call you Ben Pearl cause you just bought a Benz. And then you'll be bragging to your wife and kids that your wallet's overweight but it used to be thin. Comes away, this is Clay broadcaster with the Zen, with the focus locked in like San Quentin. Can I get a B to the O to the M? You've heard the rumors, he is I and I is him. He be the Z and I be the C. Now it's teaching business skills from Clay to Z. We both grew up poor, but we're poor no more. The goal of this show is to help you soar. Welcome back to another edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio. Now, Chup, you ever stayed up all night before? You ever like in high school, maybe in college, and the goal was to pull an all-nighter? Maybe the first time you and a bunch of young third graders got together and you said, the goal tonight is to stay up all night.
Of course.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, of course.
When was the last time you did that? When was the last time you remember pulling an all-nighter with some buddies? It could be third grade, eighth grade, high school, college. I mean, where you said, no matter what, our goal is to pull an all-nighter.
If that was our goal, that would have been like middle school. Had to have been like middle school or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is what happens. When you pull an all-nighter, what happens is about 5 a.m., you start to say things to people that you wouldn't say during normal hours.
Yep, I've been there.
You make regrettable comments.
Right.
People will go, hey, I just want you to know, guys, I like Ashley. And you're like, oh my gosh, you like my sister.
Why would you
You
say
like my sister. You want to date my sister, you sick freak. What is wrong with you? That's my sister. Come on, man. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. Just testing the waters. No, but you weren't kidding though, bro. And it gets weird.
Right. Yes.
So, today's show, we're going to talk about how to make your marketing dramatically more effective, but we're going to do it with a perspective as though we've been pulling an all-nighter.
Okay.
And I no longer have a filter. Like, I can say what I want to say.
Well,
Does that sound fair?
We have the beauty of editing.
Right. So
So-
it's going to feel like, I'm just saying, it's going to feel...
If you start dropping
It's going to
bombs.
feel like I've been up all night, and it's a 5 a.m. kind of deal, okay? So here we go.
I like that.
We're going
I
to
like
open up Seth Godin's book, The Purple Cow.
All right, let's
The Purple
do this.
Cow. It's it's like an all-nighter thing, and then at 5 a.m., somebody busts out Seth Godin's Purple Cow. He turns to page
That's how
87.
you know it was a fun all-nighter, too.
Like, hey guys, now that we've pulled an all-nighter, we've drank all the Mountain Dew we have, and eaten all the
Funyuns,
Twizzlers
yeah.
and Funyuns. Why don't we read more marketing books?
Crack open the Purple Cow.
All right, so here we go. This is the notable quotable. It reads, if you can show up in a parody, it means you've got something unique, something worth poking fun at. It means that a purple cow is at work. The paradox is this. Chup, before we get into this referencing purple cow, can you explain to the listeners what a purple cow is as it relates to marketing?
Yeah, a purple cow is something that differentiates your business from all of the other businesses in your sector. So it's something that people will remember you by, basically. Something outside of the norm that people are definitely going to remember you by.
So what I'm going to do is I'll give you an example. One of the brands I work with is called OxyFresh, OXI Fresh. And by the way, if you want to buy a franchise to OxyFresh, email me to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and for under $45,000, you can be basically buying a business that will pay you over $100,000 a year if you do it properly. I mean, it's an incredible business model. Many of the OxyFresh owners do far better than that, but you definitely, if you are interested in buying one, just email me to info@thrivetimeshow.com. But OxyFresh is the world's greenest carpet cleaner. So when you think about Stanley Steamer, when you think about other carpet cleaning companies, there is one company that stands alone as the world's greenest carpet cleaner. Chup, do you care at all, honestly, as a dude? Do you care at all whether your carpet cleaning company is green or not?
Actually, I kind of do, but
Really?
as a dude,
Really?
I don't care about a carpet cleaning company. So
You do care?
yeah, I like that fact that they're the world's greenest carpet cleaning company. I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, would that be a deciding factor for you?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would say yes. Actually, I would say yes. It would
Okay,
be.
well, let me just. I'm going to give you the listeners' example. We'll put this in the show notes. So, Chup, you'll have to go to oxyfresh.com.
Got it.
And click on green, and you'll find it there. But OxyFresh now is EPA certified, which means that the Environmental Protection Agency actually has certified our level of
Greenery?
Well, our level of efficiency.
Okay.
And we are basically reducing the amount of water used when cleaning carpet dramatically. So it's I mean, typically when you have someone clean your carpet, it's kind of soggy for a few days. It's soggy for a day, and they say don't walk on it. And it's kind of wet and that kind of thing. OxyFresh, the carpets are cleaned, but it's very dry, and that's because with the technology that they have created, the use of technology, they use the power of oxygen to clean. It's kind of crazy, but the point is, it's more green. Also, when you schedule online, we actually will donate to a cause called water.org. Now, water.org is an organization where Matt Damon is the spokesperson, but a lot of countries, people don't have access to clean and safe drinking water. And so OxyFresh donates a percentage of all their sales back to water.org. And so OxyFresh stands alone as the world's greenest carpet cleaner, but that's what makes them unique.
Right. And if a potential buyer or consumer is battling in their mind, who am I going to pick, OxyFresh or Stanley Steamers or whoever, that could very well be the deciding factor.
Right. Another purple cow would be Tom's shoes. If you're looking to buy shoes, a lot of people are looking to buy some shoes to wear with some jeans, or just some shoes to wear with some shorts, and shoes to wear around. And you're going, okay, if I buy this pair of shoes, it's this many dollars. If I buy this pair of shoes, if I buy these shoes, I'm supporting an athlete. Bottom line, there's an athlete endorsing these shoes, and if I buy these shoes, that athlete will probably make a commission check, or I'm paying for his endorsement. With Tom's shoes, every time I buy a pair of shoes, they give a pair of shoes away to someone in need. And I'm asking you, Mr. Listener, Mrs. Listener, with your business, what is your purple cow? What makes you stand out in a world of brown cows, in a world of so many other people that do home cleaning, in a world of so many remodelers, in a room of so many photographers? What makes your company stand alone? And I read again from page 87 of the Purple Cow. If you can show up in a parody, it means you've got something unique, something worth poking fun at. It means that there's a purple cow at work. The paradox is this. The same word of mouth that can make your product a huge hit can also lead to someone's snickering at you. Most companies are so afraid of offending or appearing ridiculous that they steer away from any path that might lead them to this result. They make boring products because they don't want to be interesting. When a committee gets involved, each well-meaning participant sands off the rough edges, speaking up for how their constituency might not like the product. The result is something boring and safe. And so here's where it gets kind of weird. Chup, can I get weird, please? If you're out there and you have a company and you're not selling anything, I'm telling you, you have to come up with a purple cow. You have to come up with a purple cow. If your church does not have enough people attending the church service, you've got to stand out. So I'm giving you a specific example. I thought about this. Here we go. Let's say you have a church and nobody is attending your church. Chup, you know what we're going to do? If I was the head of your church and nobody had an idea, if everybody on our team said, I don't have an idea, I really don't know what to do, Pastor Clark, what would you do? This is what I would do, Chup. Are you ready?
Shoot, let's hear it.
I would paint the church with purple cow print. And I would literally call it the Purple Cow Church. I would.
That would work. That's the whole point, right?
And there's actually a burger joint. Have you seen the Purple Cow burger joint in Texas? Let's put that on the show notes. It's Purple Cow
Burgers,
and that's in Dallas, Texas. And I guarantee you that's what happened. You had somebody who was, I got it pulled up on the big screen here. It's purplecowlr.com. I guarantee you this guy's like, I don't know how to stand out. I'm not sure how to do it. I'm not sure what would make our company stand out. So it's actually a burger place called purplecowlr.com, and it stands out. People know about it. If you have to come up with something to stand out. And again, I read from Seth Godin's book, Purple Cow, from page 94. He says, the lesson here is simple. The more intransigent. Right, intransigent. I'm going to look that up real quick. Intransigent. Intransigent. He says, the more intransigent. What? That's what we need to. The listeners need to know. Intransigent. I don't say that a lot. I'm not saying, I typically don't say, hey, Chubb, that's more intransigent. He says, intransigent means, it's INTRANSIGENT, unwilling or refusing to change one's views or to agree about something. Chubb.
That makes sense.
Intransigent.
That makes sense.
Have you ever said that before?
I think so.
You have not.
I probably said it wrong, though.
Whatever. You've never. I mean, hey guys.
I woke up and said it 10 times.
Listen here, Gordy. The more intransigent you are, it says the lesson here is simple. The more intransigent your market, the more crowded the marketplace, the busier your customers, the more you need the Purple Cow. Half measures will fail. Overhauling the product with dramatic improvements in the things the right customers care about, on the other hand, can have a huge profit. My friend, he talks in this book. He says you have to have the Ataku. A taco. Put that on the show notes. ATACU. Ataku. He says that word actually means, I guess in Japanese, it means the obsession and the inspired. You have to have this obsession and inspiration to make your Purple Cow stand out. And I think so many people are afraid to do this. I mean, when I ran Epic Photography, I just said, guys, listen, we're going to guarantee that we can get our wedding photos back to the bride and the groom within 2 weeks. And everyone thought I was crazy.
And what was the biggest winning factor of that business? That was it. That was why everybody knew. We had the awards, we had the talented photographer, we had everything, but everybody knew about that 2-week turnaround.
Right. Every wedding photographer takes like 4 months.
It's crazy.
6 months. Chuck, did they take forever to get your wedding photos back to you, whoever you guys used?
Yeah, actually, it wasn't that long. We used a friend of ours, but it still took months.
Yeah. People take months to get your photos back to you. It's ridiculous. And so I just said, listen, we're going to get it back to the customer in 2 weeks. And everyone thought I was crazy, but it worked. Also, I said I'll beat any photographer's price by 30%. And when you go in saying, hey, we're 30% less money, and by the way, and this is when I owned epicphotos.com, so I'm not sure how they've changed it today. Whenever I sell a company, I just have to move on mentally. I no longer know what's going on there. I don't care what's going on there. It's kind of like selling a kid. You feel kind of bad, but you have to move on. But all I could say is that we would do a 2-week turnaround time, and we'd beat anybody's price by 30%. That was our Purple Cow. And I ask you again, Mr. Listener, Mrs. Listener, what is your Purple Cow? Now, this is the problem with your Purple Cow, is a lot of people come up with something that's really unique, but then nobody wants it. And so Seth Godin talks about this on page 106 of the Purple Cow. He says, you need to figure out who's buying and then solve their problem. Chuck, you need to figure out who's buying and then solve their problem. So let's talk about men's hair for a second.
Okay, let's do it.
Elephant in the Room. Elephant in the Room is a company that I own, and I'll just tell you this: a lot of guys are frustrated that when they go in for a haircut, all they get is a chance to read old magazines. They get no ambiance, no atmosphere. They have a chain smoker that's cutting their hair,
right?
And they have to wait while sitting on those third grade, those blue kindergarten chairs, those plastic chairs. They have to sit there and wait, and to sit on those plastic chairs while they're waiting for their appointment.
Oh, yeah.
And guys are like, this is just ridiculous. And so we built the Country Club of men's hair. And that's what makes Elephant in the Room unique. And that's why we're opening up locations in Dallas and Oklahoma City and in Tulsa. And after 6 years, the company has been a hit. When we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you about what makes Elephant in the Room unique and why so many people have fallen in love with the brand. But before I do that, let me tell you about a company called Classic Janitorial. Classic Janitorial. You might be saying to yourself, I want to make sure that my bathrooms are clean. I want to make sure that they make a great first impression for my ideal and likely buyers.
Fresh.
And so if you want to make your bathroom super clean, call the folks who are used by DuPont, by Google, by Newstar. That's theclassicclean.com. It's theclassicclean.com. One more time. Theclassicclean.com. Check them out.
Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. We're broadcasting today from the man cave here at Camp Clark and Chicken Palace. Chuck, did I tell you about did my wife show you that well?
Yeah, I was hoping to put some stuff together for it.
Yesterday, we went down, I think, 20 feet.
Did you hit water?
Yeah, bro.
Nice.
Now, here's the deal.
Nice.
Before you leave, I need you to help me attach one more attachment because I got to go another 5 feet.
Oh, I can do that.
It's going to happen.
I did it once. I can do it again.
I'm just telling you, we've hit water. And we've got to go deeper.
That's awesome.
And Chuck, you know what? We got to go deeper.
you know what?
We've hit the water, but we got to go deeper.
That's the whole point to life, Clay. It's that essence.
No, if you want to get if you want to really get that water, you've got to go deeper.
That's right.
Chup, if you want to go out there and get that fruit, you know where that fruit is?
It's way out there.
On the limb.
On the limb.
Oh,
It's kind of scary out there. It's
right.
curious.
It's kind of hard to go down deeper to get the water, to go out on the limb to get the fruit.
More effort
but
in
out
both
on the
scenarios.
limb, that's where the fruit is.
That's right.
And I think a lot of people start a company. Not our listeners, but other people. You start a company. What happens is you're wanting to be conservative with your marketing. And so you're wanting to say this on your website. The most professional service in town. I'm actually going to pull up I was working with a client yesterday, and I was helping them through this process. And they have a company in Texas that does siding.
In Tejas.
And so I was looking at their competitors, and I want to show you their competitors' website so you can kind of...
Can we point and laugh?
Yeah. I mean, well, they say... helping the people of this area since 1978.
Oh, wow.
And that's their purple cow.
Well, that sounds pretty awesome. They've been helping people, Clay.
Now, here's another one. It says, get a free estimate.
I mean...
But it says, the area's source for quality service. And if you look at all the competitors, another one, they say, let's see what they say here. These are not purple cows.
No.
None of these stand out.
These aren't even cows.
Nobody's even going for it here. These are just super weak ads. You can't say the most professional. It says, be proud of your home. That's not a move.
That's not anything. That's just a sentence.
But that's what everyone does. Everybody goes out there and tries to have a website or a marketing plan or a marketing system where they say, we're the most professional. We've been around since 1978.
Right.
We have guaranteed quality. We have the most professional team. The word professional, the word quality, that is lost all meaning because everybody says it.
Right. So you can't just say it. You have to get their attention through having a purple cow that works and then prove that you're the most professional.
And you have to have kind of an obsession about coming up with your purple cow.
Right.
Because as Seth Godin writes here, every other business by default is a brown cow. But if you want your purple cow, if you want your business to be the purple cow in the crowded pasture of brown cows, if you want your cow, your business to stand out in the clutter of commerce, you've got to make the purple cow in the sea of the brown cows. A sea, not a herd, a sea. Right. So Chuck,
swimming cows.
So Chuck, tell me about this new word we're learning here. We have a new word we were introducing to our listeners.
So the word is otaku.
Otaku.
Otaku. And what it means is...
Do it again.
Otaku.
Grande.
Ooh, Otaku Bell.
Remember that song, Rico Suave?
I do.
Rico Suave.
Yeah, so
Otaku.
it's O-T-A-K-U, pronounced otaku. And in Japan, it means a young person who is obsessed with computers or particular aspects of popular culture to the detriment of their own social skills.
And what Seth Godin points out is he says you have to have that kind of obsession to come up with your purple cow. Because once you do, it unleashes your success.
You have to come out 2 shades more pale. You haven't been outside. You haven't seen the sun. I got a question for you before we move on, Clay.
Yes, Chief, yes.
How many times have you worked with a client or spoken at a conference and talked to business owners who take their purple cow ideas to a committee within their business? And how does this work out? Does this ever work out
Almost
good?
every time.
And does it ever turn out well?
No.
It's the worst case scenario. If you are a business owner and you're out there trying to come up with a purple cow, get some ideas from people, but you have to make that ultimate decision.
Bro, it's like you're reading page 108 of Seth Godin's book. He says here, it's crazy. He says, if someone in your organization is charged with creating a new purple cow, leave them alone. Don't use internal reviews or committees and usability testing to figure out if the new product is as good as what you've got now. Instead, pick the right maverick and get out of the way.
Oh gosh.
So I'm going to tell the listeners about Elephant in the Room now. So Elephant in the Room is a brand that I own. It's a men's grooming lounge. And what we found, and I say we found, my brother-in-law had deeply researched all of the competitors in the men's grooming space and had discovered that when you go in, there's a lot of plastic being used. Everything seems to be very much, Subway has a wallpaper, brick wallpaper.
Yeah, faux brick wallpaper.
I mean, come on now.
It's some heavy wallpaper.
It couldn't possibly be cheaper. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Right, okay. So it's like every Subway has a fake brick wallpaper, which goes well with their fake bread and their fake meat. So
that chicken was healthy forever, man. I feel kind of lied to, I got to tell you.
I'm just telling you, it's kind of crazy. But the point, it's like a McDonald's on steroids.
Right.
But the point is, you go in there, it really is on steroids, but you go in there into a elephant in the room, and we use actual barn wood.
Right.
We use reclaimed brick. We use everything is live edge wood. I mean, the whole.
Edison bulbs. It's not all white fluorescent like a doctor's office.
Which store do you go in to check on occasion? Is it South also?
Yep, South.
But everything. I mean, you notice the shelves are built out of that lead pipe stuff.
Pipe, black gas pipe, and reclaimed wood and live edge wood. It's a very cool atmosphere.
And so we went with an authentic look, but then we also went with where we book via appointment only. So when someone walks in, they're not waiting forever, and they're not sitting on these ridiculous child third grade plastic chairs.
Right.
I mean, our competition literally has third grade plastic blue chairs that are super uncomfortable, and they have like old magazines. You're supposed to sit there and read like People magazine from like 2003, some story about Prince Harry or something.
Well, that was a really important story, though. So I mean,
I'm just saying though, everybody wants to watch. The guys want to watch ESPN.
Yes.
We offer you a beverage when you get there.
Well, guess what else they don't want to do? They don't want to sit there and wait for 30 minutes while somebody's on the phone, while people are taking forever.
We don't even have a phone in the stores.
It's so cool.
There's no phone. The phone rings to a call center, and the whole thing has been designed to be the perfect atmosphere for a man. We do paraffin hand dips, hot towel treatments. The whole experience is something that you're going to love, and we believe you're going to love it. But the thing is that we know that you probably already get your hair cut somewhere else. You're probably not just sitting around going, oh my gosh, my hair's getting crazy long. What should I do? I wish somebody would invent the idea of a men's grooming lounge. No, you're already getting your hair somewhere. So what happens is that we offer our first haircut to you for $1.
You can't do that. Sounds crazy.
Now, Chubb, why do we do the first haircut for $1?
Because it's a literal no-brainer.
It's such a good deal.
If you need a haircut and you're a man, why would you not go in there and get a $1 haircut?
Now, Chubb, let me tell you about another company that has a no-brainer right now.
Oh, I'd love to hear
Onyx Imaging. Now, Onyx Imaging is a company that we actually buy our printer and office supplies from. And I'll tell you this, because a lot of people out there are going to Office Depot. They're going to Target. They're going to different stores to buy their office supplies, and they're paying full retail price to get office supplies, printer cartridges, toners, that kind of thing.
They are.
But if you want to save both time and money, you got to check out our good friends at onyximaging.com. That's onyximaging.com. Now, Chip, what's the no-brainer they're offering right now for all of our listeners who go to onyximaging.com?
Right now, for new select and premium customers, they're going to give you a free printer.
Oh.
I'm talking like one of the Big Daddy free printer copiers.
Impossible.
It's amazing.
Okay.
They're your one-stop business shop. They can repair your printer. They have loaner printers. They have office supplies where they price match. They deliver same and next day. You've got to get a hold of these guys to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine. 918-627-6611. 918-627-6611.
You are now entering the dojo of Mojo and the Thrive Time Show.
Can I kick it? Yes, you can. 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 This is Clay Clark on the mic again. Myopic focused tunnel vision. I'm focused on the mission to teach you the skills and give you the plans. Broadcasting from my lands to the left, to the Portlands. I'm here to tell you can do it, yes you can. And now my friend, you got two fans. Hit me the Z, comma, and I'll be the C, yes, and now let's kick it like Batman, bam, and get a little nuts like pecans. Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. My name is Clay Clark. I'm the former U.S. SBA Entrepreneur of the Year, sent here on a mission to get you into a great financial position. And one thing I want to make sure we carve out time to talk about right now is our June 22nd and June 23rd workshop is going to be awesome. Hot. We have got it's going to be a great crowd. A lot of people from all over the country are attending this event. And if you want to get yourself free tickets to attend the June 22nd and June 23rd workshop, you can get your tickets today by simply going to the Thrive Time Show on iTunes. Find the Thrive Time Show on iTunes, subscribe to the podcast, leave us an objective review. So subscribe and then leave us an objective review and email us your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com and we'll get you your tickets. Also, if you can't figure out how to do that or it's difficult or you don't have an iTunes account, you can just leave us a review by going to Thrive Time Show. You're going to find our Google map. So just do a search for Thrive 15 and the word Jinx. Thrive 15 and the word Jinx. And then just leave us an objective review there, and we will also give you 2 free tickets to our next in-person Thrive Time Show workshop. The event starts at 7 a.m. on Friday the 22nd. and it goes until 3 p.m. And so we do 45-minute sprints followed by a 15-minute break. So we're going to teach you marketing, branding, the millionaire mindset to time management. We're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you workflow design. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you branding. We teach all of that to you, and it's a laugh and learn format. So you're going to have a lot of fun. I would say for every 3 things you learn, you're going to laugh one time. We have a great bookstore there. We have a coffee bar. We break for lunch. It really has been designed to be very interactive.
Marshall's there. He's really tall.
Yeah, well, we try to keep the event where it's less than 175 people, so
Absolutely.
it's very interactive.
Yep.
And if you get on a ladder, you can talk to Marshall, and you're going to have a great time. We have great music, great fun, great food. Hood CPAs typically sponsors a lunch, and you're just going to love it.
Oh, this time, guess what? I don't know if you remember this.
What?
Restore Home Health is going to be smoking a bunch of meat right out in the parking lot.
Really?
We're going to feed
really?
everybody. Yes.
To quote Bone Thugs, what does he say? Smoking meat, ready to peck you if we have to today. What is it?
That's exactly what.
Because Bone Thug says, smoking ganja, ready to peck you if we have to today.
We're going to be smoking meat instead of ganja. But, so you got to come out.
Do you remember Bone Thugs?
I do remember Bone. Wake up.
Wake up. It's the first of the month. Get up.
Cash your checks and
Get
wake
up. Okay, now, all I would say is if you don't want to hear Bone Thugs in Harmony, but you do want to see business coaching in harmony, come out to the Thrive Time Show conference where we're going to be smoking what?
Meat.
Not ganja.
Not ganja.
Nice.
Meat.
Okay, I want to clear up any confusion there.
Yes,
Book your tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Page 118 of The Purple Cow by Seth Godin. He explains how to stand out in the clutter of commerce, how to make your business stand out and get the attention it deserves. And he writes, get inside the heads of the people who do care deeply about your product and make them something they'll love and want to share. Marketers and designers who do it can put themselves into other people's shoes and imagine what they'd want. In the long run, learning this knack is actually much more profitable than being able to make stuff for only yourself. Learning this knack gives you more flexibility. This is huge. For the photography company, that's what I did. I got into the mindset of what brides wanted. I asked the women, I asked the brides, I asked them at the bridal shows. I said, hey, if you could get anything you wanted out of your wedding photographer, what are you looking for? And they said, because they would come up to the booth and say, how much do you guys charge? Everyone would say, how much do you guys charge?
And every other company just gives them an answer, right?
Right. But every woman would come up to the show. So they'd come up to the booth and they'd say, how much do you guys charge? And like you said, the competitors would say, this is how much we charge. Yep. Here's a brochure. I said, well, let me ask you this. Assuming that we could beat anybody's price, what's the main thing you're looking for out of a photographer? I mean, assuming we're the cheapest, because we've got a great deal. They go, well, if you guys could do get my photos back to me within a week or two, that'd be awesome. I said, what else? They said, if you guys could do free engagement so I could try out the service before I decide to buy with you guys. If you could allow me to do maybe free bridals, that would be awesome before we decide to book with you. If you guys could beat anyone's price, that'd be great. If you guys let me choose the style, that'd be awesome. And that's what Epic Photos became. It became what people wanted.
Right.
That's what the Thrive Time Show workshop is. I mean, we talked to business owners. I mean, I'm telling you, I have talked to thousands of business owners and said, hey, you've been to so many workshops. I've spoken at these things. And all of them, this is the insincerity of the format. You're asked to speak. If you're a motivational speaker, a guest speaker, I remember I spoke at the Community Bankers Association event out there in Las Vegas.
Sounds exciting.
And I'm speaking. There are thousands of people attending. And you are supposed to teach people the millionaire mindset to time management where there are thousands of people. Well, if there's thousands of people, Chuck, can you ask a question?
You can, but it's probably hard to get people's attention and responses. And
it's not possible.
Right.
So what we had to do at our workshops is we wanted to keep the venue small enough where you could have your questions answered. And
Absolutely.
So if you're listening right now and you say, gosh, I would like to attend a workshop where I can actually work on my business and I can have access to ask questions I have. That's what our workshop is. It's not a big motivational seminar with thousands of people. That's not the format. So you're going to be seated next to other entrepreneurs. I mean, the last one we had a Charles Kolaw, who owns 3 multi-million-dollar gyms. He's sitting right over there by Pastor Brian Gibson, who's a pastor of a church of thousands of people in Owensboro, Kentucky. And right behind him, we got Aaron Antis, who has built literally thousands of new homes in Green Country with ShawHomes.com. And we have all these people that are dealing with thousands of customers, thousands of members of their church, thousands of gym memberships. I mean, and so you get to sit by people that are going through the same things you're going through, Chuck.
Right. And it's not, you will be motivated, but what I would say is you're going to be more inspired than motivated because you've already taken action when you're you've got yourself to the conference, to the workshop. Iron sharpens iron. You're going to be talking to people, getting questions answered that you may not even realize that you had, but you're going to leave inspired and ready to take action with actual action steps that you can put into place immediately to turn your business around.
Now, Chup, we talked about Onyx Imaging before and how you should go there for your office supplies, but they have a competitor called Staples.
They do.
And they're famous for a button. What button are they famous for?
That was easy.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Now, if you're saying, you know what, guys, I want to come up with a purple cow, but I want that was easy button. I just want a move that always works.
Did you say that on purpose? A move.
Move. Yeah, move. I want to move. That always works. If you're looking for kind of the default button that always works, when we come back from the break, I'm going to tell you that move. But this move, Chup, this move is dirty. Chup, this is a dirty move. This move works every time, but it's a little bit dirty. So
sometimes in work, you got to get your hands a little dirty.
Just grab a notepad, grab a sheet of paper, grab an Etch-a-Sketch, get ready to take notes as we teach you the universal purple cow move that always works. And during the break, I encourage you to go to hoodcpas.com. That's hoodcpas.com. If you're looking for a proactive accountant, visit their website today at hoodcpas.com. See, I'm more than just a rhymer, like a horse with blinders. Focused on the Thrive Time Show is where you find us. He be the Z and I be the C. Teaching business skills from Clay to Z. We both grew up poor, but we're poor no more. The goal of this show is to help you score. I couldn't see the light until my son could see, but I learned to rock the mic in the high school scene. A young DJ with a $1 billion dream, numb to the pain that rejection brings. So I, like a sod farmer sweating.
3, 2, 1, boom! You are now entering the dojo of Mojo and the Thrive Time Show.
Thrive Time Show on the microphone. What is this? Top of the iTunes charts in the category of business. Drilling down on business topics like we are a dentist. Providing you with mentorship like you are an apprentice. And we go so fast that you might get motion sickness. Grab a pen and pad to the lab. Let's get in this. It's time to bear some fruit like some Florida oranges. 3, 2, 1. Here come the business ninjas. Oh, it's the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. Folks, show. My name is Clay Clark. Welcome back into my dojo of Mojo. The entire purpose for putting together the Thrive Time Show podcast is because we want to provide you a refuge from the political
deluge.
Yes. I feel like there's a constant where I'm trying to watch sports, trying to watch like the NFL, right? And there's some guy getting on a knee protesting, right? I'm trying to then I'll switch to I'm just trying to watch the Patriots game, you know, and they got some other guy taking a knee, and then all of a sudden the announcer is like, well, the NFL has a problem on its hands. They're going to have to deal with the players. And then all of a sudden, you know, they have somebody an NFL player who makes a statement about something political, and then it's like, oh, no, or a player refuses to go to the White House to meet the president, or there's always something political. And if there's not that, there's always something religious. There's always somebody who's, you know, if you listen to a podcast about business, somehow all the conversations are like, should we hire a homosexual or not? Should we on tomorrow's show? What is the place for lesbians in the workplace? And I'll just tell you this. Just let me get it out there. If you are gay, if you are straight, if you are just the straightest person ever, you are so heterosexual, it's crazy. If you're so homosexual, it's outstanding. If you are either way, I don't care. I just want you to come to work and do your job. And so we've created this show to be the place where you go, you know what, I don't care about the political stuff. I don't want to get into the religious stuff. What I want to do is I want to learn how to grow a successful company. Let me tell you what, when you have money in the bank, you're still going to have problems, but it's so much easier. Now, when you're struggling financially and you're struggling with life, that's terrible.
Not fun.
So what you want to do is you want to go through the struggles of life in the areas of faith and family and finances and fitness and friendship and fun. You want to go through all those dramas with money in the bank.
Gas
you don't
in
want
a
to go
tank.
through all the right because you're the man.
Right.
You don't want to go through all these problems without money in the bank. And so one way to get more money in the bank is you want to create a purple cow. Seth Godin wrote about this in his best-selling book called The Purple Cow. Wow, that was pretty crazy. He wrote a book called The Purple Cow about the purple cow. That's crazy. Yeah, so Seth Godin wrote this book, and he talks about the importance of standing out in a cluttered marketplace. And so he's talking about, hey, if you're out there and you're saying, gosh, I don't know, man. I have a siding company. I have a siding company. I do windows and doors, and I can't think of a purple cow. And I don't know. And I've been thinking about it. I just can't figure it out. He says this is the dirty default move that
default
always
dirty.
works.
Let's do it.
On page 125, he writes, cheap is one of the only remarkable items that never seems to run out of appeal. Let me try again. Cheap is one of the only remarkable items that never seems to run out of appeal. For just about any repeatable purchased item, he says, for just about any repeatably purchased item, all other things being equal, the cheap one will gain market share. The problem with cheap is that once you start, your competitor will likely play the same game. In an incremental price war, how will one player beat the other and still win economically? IKEA can do it. Walmart can do it. Can you? Cheap is a lazy way out of the battle for the purple cow. Cheap is the last refuge of a product developer or marketer who is out of ideas. So let me tell you how we did it for Elephant in the Room. I love going the cheap move until you don't have to. See,
Right.
that's where Seth and I would have a great interview right there. I love going cheap until you don't have to. So I want to go as cheap as possible. So the first haircut at Elephant in the Room is $1. By the way, if you're in Tulsa right now and you've not been into the Elephant in the Room yet, you got to check it out. I mean, we only have capacity for 4,000 members, and we're almost there. So you got to check it out. I mean, the first haircut's $1, and then after that, every other haircut is the normal price. And if you're a member, you get a discount. But it's as cheap as could be the first time. So that's how I would do it, Chup. Now, but what he's talking about is if you make your entire business model just being always the cheapest option, it's really hard to do that because you now have to have cheap labor,
Right.
cheap materials. Everything has to be cheap.
You've started a race to the bottom of the price bucket. And
Right.
so everybody's going there.
And it really can get tough to hire good people and tough to have good products when you always focus on being the cheapest. But off air, Chup, you had a question in between the break there you were going to ask me.
We were talking this previous segment about people talking to their customers about what they actually want.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you why you think most business owners don't seem to actually do this. They don't seem to actually go talk to their actual customers or their ideal and likely buyers and say, how can we be better? Or what are you actually looking for out of our product or service?
I think that I go through life as the drunk guy.
Okay.
So this is my thought. We were talking about this a little bit.
Yeah.
But, if somebody's had like 4 adult beverages at a wedding, they don't have any problem going out and dancing.
Yep.
If they've had 4 adult beverages, they have no problem giving a toast.
Saying what needs to be said.
So I used to DJ though, and this is how every single. I mean, it's hilarious. It was like if I did 100 weddings, 70 of them would go like this. I would say, all right, ladies and gentlemen, coming up in just a moment, the best man and the maid of honor are going to do the toast. So again, the best man, the maid of honor are going to do their toast to the bride and the groom. Stay tuned in just a moment. The best man and maid of honor toast. Then I go get them. The maid of honor always has a folded up piece of notebook paper with something thoughtful. And she's like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do it. Now the groom, the groom's friend, the best man, he's like, I don't know. I didn't get a chance to write something down.
I was busy getting the kegs.
Let me go get a couple beverages and I'll be right back. So this guy comes back and he's like, he'll get back. And the maid of honor gets up and goes, I just want to thank April for inviting me. April is so special, and I wrote a poem to demonstrate my love for her. April, you can do this. You can do this, Candace. Candace, you can do this. You can do this, Margaret. Margaret, you can do it. Everyone's like, you can do it. And it's like, April, showers are ours. Because of our power, and it's always a rhyming thing, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, nice."
Beautiful.
Now the best man gets up 4 beers in because he's had 4 beers. When I say 4, it's 4 after the previous 6
Before the wedding started.
So he gets up and he's like, Daryl, I'll tell you this: there's a lot of guys, that I went to school with. I'm like, hey, do not point the mic at the speaker. And he's holding the mic away from his face. Daryl, you're like what I would call probably one of my best friends I've ever had. And I Frank, I love you, man. You're like, you remember when we were...
I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Remember when in high school, man, and we went into that bar?
We took state.
We were like 18, and I went into that Navy bar, and I found the biggest guy, and I said, you want to do this? And he said, no, but then you got my back, man. You knocked him out, bro. And we went to jail, and everyone's going, oh, my gosh. That's how, like, the best.
Remember when you met Suzanne, man?
Suzanne. Suzanne was great, and that's why I'm so glad that you and Suzanne. I mean, dear Lord, April.
Oh God,
April. I'm so glad that you and April are married. But if you and April and Suzanne got married, that'd been cool.
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, if you guys would raise a glass. Oh, I spilled on my shirt.
Can I say?
I mean, that's what they do.
That was my cousin when he got married. I was probably 18 or 19, and that was almost my best man speech because I did not prepare anything.
Right. So I'm just saying is I don't care. And the guy giving the toast doesn't care, and I just don't care. I don't care about pride. I don't have fear of embarrassment. I don't worry about what are they going to say. I just want to get the result as soon as possible. So I have no problem asking a man on the street. I have no problem going to wedding shows and asking people. I had no problem at all with buying a booth for a bridal show when I couldn't take photos. We didn't even have any cameras.
It's awesome, is what that is.
And nobody else would do that.
Right.
All the guys are like, well, we don't have a booth.
This is crazy.
Dude, we don't even have cameras. I'm like, I know, this is how we start.
We don't even know how to take photos.
Right. But this is how I built companies. It works. And so if you're out there and you're saying, gosh, I just don't know what the customer wants, ask them.
Don't be arrogant about it and think that you know better. You know, now you know that you need to do. Don't be scared. Just get out there and ask them.
Yeah, if you saying that I need to ask my customers what they want, Chup, if you saying that,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Chup, it seems like you just saying I'm supposed to go out there and just ask somebody.
Let's say you might be a company called Platinum Pest and Lawn.
Oh, come on now.
You might want to go out and ask people if they need termite treatment services. And when you find out that they do, you could have a no-brainer offer like our friends at Platinum Pest and Lawn, where they're going to do a free termite inspection.
Right.
And if they find that you have termites, they'll do $200 off of termite treatments.
Can I give you a testimony real quick about Platinum Pest? By the way, you got to check out platinum-pestcontrol.com. That's platinum-pestcontrol.com. We used to have these wood bees.
Those things are massive.
Out front of the Man Cave studios here at Camp Clark and Chicken Palace. I'm talking about massive wood bees. Yeah. And they came in and got rid of those wood bees. If you go to platinum-pestcontrol.com, they'll remove your wood bees. They'll remove the snakes from your lake. They'll get rid of the mosquitoes in your mojito, the bees by your knees. Call platinum-pestcontrol.com. Check them out online today.
No negative emotion, cause that's what business is. Always dominate, cause I got 5 kids. I will not lose, I don't break but bruise. They can talk about me, I can take that abuse. But here is the truth, while they make that excuse, I'll be up grinding cause the scoreboard's the truth. He is my mentor, like my Yoda dude. He showed me the force like I was a young Luke.
Oh, yes, Thrive Nation. Welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. And according to the rap lyrics there, Z is my mentor. He's like my Yoda dude. Like I was a young Luke, he showed me the truth. I mean that. And I just want to tell you, Dr. Z is taking my kids and my wife and I out to go see the new Star Wars movie.
Oh, nice.
And I'll tell you the one thing about Dr. Z that I love. It's everything.
The one everything.
No, I mean, he honestly has been the best mentor in my life. Probably one of the best. He is definitely my favorite male human I've ever met.
Nice.
And he's just always there for me. He's been very consistent in my life. And I just want to say, if you know Dr. Robert Zellner and you have his cell phone number, shoot him a text message and tell him what a great guy he is. Because is he perfect? No. I mean, who is perfect? But the guy is absolutely as consistent as can be. And to me, that is Dr. Z's purple cow. In a world of brown cows where a lot of people claim to want to be there for you, he's there for me. And when my dad passed away, my dad actually got sick. He had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And Dr. Z, asked me if he could kind of fill that father role. And I don't know that there's anybody else in the world that would have asked that question to anybody. I mean, I've certainly never had somebody ask me that question before.
Right.
And he's just been there for me. And I'll just say I respect that relationship. I know that I'm not his son, but he treats me like I am. And I would just say I appreciate Dr. Z so much. And if you're out there listening and you have his cell phone number, just shoot him a text and tell him what a great guy he is, because he is the purple cow. He really is the GOAT in Tulsa, the greatest of all time. He's a great guy. He's fun to have on the show. And Chup, it's fun to have him on the show because he provides great mentorship, great learning opportunities, and always has a great attitude.
He always has a great attitude. He's always having a good time. There's two things that I notice about Z every time I see him.
Yeah.
If something needs to be talked about or figured out, he can switch into that mode. Hey, let's just figure it out right now. There's no need to beat around the bush, and then go back to having a great time. And then he always drops some kind of knowledge bomb, some kind of quotable or something. And I just remember a few weeks ago we were talking, and this has stuck with me. I think I literally am waking up with this in my mind.
Nice.
And he said something about don't seek justice, but seek mercy. And that was just so powerful to me, especially from somebody with his position, his stature, his, in the community. He's a powerful figure. And for him to seek mercy instead of justice is so powerful.
Let's tell you what, let's focus this entire segment on that idea before we get back into Purple Cows, because this is an idea that is powerful. I know that for me in business, I get wronged so many times. And my natural reaction is to go attack. So let me just give you a funny example that is Chuck, will you put the Bible verse on there that vengeance is the Lord's?
Yep. Vengeance
is the Lord's, the Bible verse. Let me pull up the actual verse so I can read it to the listeners here. Romans 12:19. Romans 12:19 writes, "Do not take revenge, my dear friends, but leave room for God's wrath. For it is written, it is mine to avenge. I will repay, says the Lord." So I'm going to give you two revenge stories recently that are hilarious, they're just crazy funny. But I had a competitor that for Elephant in the Room, every time we would put our signs out that says $1 first haircut, they would literally take down all of our signs.
Childish.
And so they'd take them down. So I took down one of their signs, which is in the man cave. You can see it up there in the ceiling. Yeah. So I took down one of theirs after they took down, I want to say like 20-something of ours. But then that idea that Z has been telling me over the years got in my head. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to seek mercy because their business has to be doing pretty bad if he's resorted to taking down our signs as his chief marketing strategy. And just the other day, I was driving by the business, because I drive by all the competitors to see what's going on. And I noticed they're out of business, Chuck.
Ooh.
And the revenge was the Lord's or somebody's, the marketplace. I mean, they didn't last.
If you practice that principle, I truly believe it removes a corrosive influence on your heart, on your brain, that constant looking for revenge, looking how to get back at people. When you just take that out of your own hands and you do your best and forget the rest, it makes for a lot happier life.
Now, the other one recently, this was the hardest one for me to move on from. This is just like in the last 3 weeks. We had a customer that came into one of our businesses, and the customer came in there and was told by an employee that I hate veterans.
Yeah, of course you do.
Now, Chup, I don't think people realize this. A lot of my friends are veterans.
Right.
We give off half off haircuts for veterans, so we don't even make money on the haircuts for veterans. We've done, for Thrive, we offer a free membership for veterans. If you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you get a free membership.
It's true.
David Robinson, my partner, served in the United States Naval Academy. I could go on and on.
If you're a veteran, you come into the Thrive office, I'll give you a 30-second shoulder massage.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We have American flags everywhere.
There's a lot of American
There's
flags.
nobody who's more, I cry during the national anthem.
Yeah.
I'm a huge veteran guy. And for somebody to say on social media without knowing me that I hate veterans, one, I don't go on social media, so I didn't know. But then a member of my management team, text me screenshots of what was going on. And this person's getting really personal. They're like,
right.
Clay Clark is a nut job. He hates veterans. He discriminates against veterans. He fires veterans. And then a guy that we had to fire years ago suggested that they should report me to Channel 2 to do some like news works for you because I hate veterans.
Of course you do. Yeah. That's what. Yeah.
And I thought to myself, wow. I mean, here's a guy that I fired for being terrible at his job, and he, because he's a veteran, now has a platform.
Right.
And everyone on social media doesn't know me. And so all I can say is if you go to my Facebook page, I don't post negative stuff. Like if you go to my Facebook page and you just go through it, it's pretty much every day is just positive stuff.
Win.
That's all I do. I don't post anything negative. And Chuck, you know why I don't post anything negative?
Because it's a waste of time and effort. And why? Why would you want to?
Well, I was listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast the other day, and I really, Chuck, I would encourage you and all the listeners to check out this podcast. It was a really good one. It was with the lady named Whitney Wolf, and she is the founder and CEO of a company called Bumble, Bumble. Have you ever heard of Bumble before there, Chuck?
I have, but I have no idea what it is.
Bumble is a dating website where basically women initiate the conversation.
Yeah, my buddy was telling me about it. And yeah, I get it.
It's also a social media platform where you can't make negative comments.
Right.
So like you can get like punted from the platform if you say negative stuff. And what happened is she had a lot of people that were attacking her personally on social media. And she said even though she was very wealthy, she got depressed because everyone kept saying negative things about her on the internet that weren't true. And she felt like she had to go on there and like right every wrong.
Yeah.
And so I'm just trying to give the listeners out there a little encouragement. If you're out there and you feel like you have to right every wrong on social media, I would encourage all of our listeners to stay off of social media. And when you are on social media, post something positive. Just go on there and write something nice about somebody. Go on there and brag about somebody you've been working with. Brag about a friend of yours. Brag about a client of yours. Brag about your wife. Go on there and brag on them.
That's a good move right there.
Go on there and talk about how much you love your kids. Talk about how much you love your friends' kids. Talk about how much you love your church. Be positive. Put positivity into the world. Because if you sow the seeds of positivity, positive things come back. But Dr. Z is a guy who has so many business ventures going on that the world does sometimes throw negative things his way. But Chup, as you pointed out, he encourages us to seek
mercy instead of justice.
Man,
such a big thought. Such a big thought.
And again, if you know Dr. Z and you have his cell phone number, send him a text and tell him what a great dude he is. I promise you he will appreciate that. And he is a great mentor and a great co-host. We read here from page 163 of The Purple Cow. Page 163 of The Purple Cow. Seth Godin's talking about how to transform your business by being remarkable. How to be the purple cow that stands out in a herd of brown cows. How do you make your business stand out? He writes, is your product more boring than salt? Unlikely. So come up with a list of 10 ways to change the product, not the hype, to make it appeal to a sliver of your audience. That's powerful. That's powerful. Think about your service. Think about your product. How could you change your product or service to make it stand out? And I think of one company that's done that. Chubb, have you ever been to Elote?
Yeah. Yeah, I have. It's been a while.
Elote, my partner Braxton Fears, signed the lease with Elote back in the day. And Elote, I'll pull it up on the big screen. I want to put them on the show notes. It's ELOTE, Tulsa.com, Elote. Now, Elote is known for having a menu of food the offerings they offer that no one else really offers. I mean, They have the puffy tacos.
Famous puffy tacos.
Have you ever had the puffy tacos?
I have.
They have sweet potato burritos. Have you ever had that?
I have not.
They have all these food items that you're not going to find anywhere else. And it's all farm to table. It's all organic. It's all fresh. And then they have this craziness. They have luchador wrestlers. That actually wrestle inside the restaurant while you're eating food. Have you seen this before, Chup?
I have not actually seen the wrestling match, but I've seen the wrestling ring. I've seen the luchador wrestlers running around. So, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't make any sense, but that's what works. It stands out. It breaks out of the clutter of commerce. And if you are absolutely committed to growing your business, you have to come up with a purple cow. Everyone has to do it today. Today is your day. Today is the greatest day you're ever going to have. Today is the day today is all you have. There's Monday. There's Tuesday.
Yep.
There's Wednesday.
Those days.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday. But, Chup, there's no someday.
That's right.
Someday actually doesn't exist. Someday. You've got to do it today.
Make that choice.
Make that choice. Chuck, I want to read to all the listeners what I'm going to do today. Just so they understand that I actually do live a carpe diem sort of mindset.
Seize that carp.
And by the way, some of this involves you, okay?
Okay.
One is we're going to be buying a Mac Mini.
Okay.
I will go get that, but because we're going to plug in the sound effects to this computer over here.
Nice.
And that way I can go, hey-oh, hit that button from here.
Yeah.
The second is we're going to rearrange the Man Cave studio so that this actual desk is going to be parallel with the wall. So I can get 2 desks in here instead of 1 desk.
Oh, he's going to have a master station.
That's the move, right? And that way I can have more room to hit those switches. Also, I need to finish the drilling that well, and I need your help because that well, my wife is trying to drill a well in our backyard.
Is that well giving you beep? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
We are going to Chuck. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was okay.
We're gonna drill down though pretty deep here, and we're almost there. We're 5 feet away. We've hit water. I think my wife's still going to want to drill a lot of wells.
Multi-well system.
I really think she's going to. So I've got to finish that up today.
Nice.
I've got to send an email to a partner, and Chuck, I've got to send a thoughtful email. He had a question, so I got to respond to that.
Nice.
I've got to clean out my bag, Chuck. It's the weekend, so a lot of times people put crap in my bag. I got to clean that bag out.
Get that bag clean.
But these are all things I have to do. I have to plan out my son's birthday party, Chuck.
He invited us to that, by the way. I don't know if you know that, but I'm coming.
Are you?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So I've got these are all things I have to do. And the reason why I have to do this is because today is the day.
The day.
And I'm not going to let my son's party be crappy. No, I'm not going to let my well be 5 feet short from the water it needs. I'm not going to let the Thrive listeners out there miss out on awesome new sound clips. No, I've got to, Chuck, but we have to break it down into linear, specific steps. We have to go do it, my man.
You have to take action.
And Chuck, one other thing we have to do right now is we have to promote one of our sponsors. This is a guy named Dr. Sibley. I call him Sibs.
Sibs for short.
Sibbles. Chuck, tell us about Dr. Sibley.
Dr. Sibley's one of he's the actual chosen chiropractor of the great one.
Wayne
Gretzky, NHL legend.
Yes.
He is over there at 51st and Harvard. If you guys need to get a hold of him, he's going to offer you guys a free chiropractic assessment, free x-ray, and first treatment. If you're struggling with asthma, back pain, any of that stuff, get a hold of him at drjohnsibley.com, drjohnsibley.com, 918-749-5741.
And now, broadcasting live from the box that rocks, it's the Thrive Time Business Coach Radio Show.
Time for higher learning and higher earning. Taking you to the top like we're hiking Mount Vernon. We're changing the mindsets like we're incense burning. Passing on the magic like our name was Irvin. Serving up that knowledge like I was a servant. And I cite what I say so you know I'm not a servant. It's Thrive Time Show, bringing the heat while fervent. Giving it to you straight in a world that's swerving. Stacking the cash, making the dash, earning the plaques, bringing it back. Bring me the track so I can get up on the mic and speak the facts. Stacking the cash, making the dash, earning the plaques, bringing it back. Bring me the track so I can get up on the mic and speak the facts. All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. And we're talking about the purple cow. What is a purple cow? Well, Seth Godin wrote a book here called The Purple Cow, Transform Your Business by Being Remarkable. And I think that the book made a massive impact on my life in a way that I can't explain to you how powerful that book has been to me and to my businesses over the years. And so what I want to do is I want to take the remainder of today's show to walk you through case studies of real clients I've worked with and Chup has worked with that have implemented a thoughtful purple cow into their company that's allowed them to transform the company and allows them to grow and to be sustainable. So let's go with the first one. Score Basketball. ScoreBball.com. So let's say you're out there and you live in the Tulsa area and you want your kids to become better at the game of basketball. Maybe your child is sitting the bench. Maybe they're the sixth man on the team. They're the seventh man. They don't get to play a lot of minutes. And you want them to become great at basketball. So if you type in Tulsa basketball camps into Google, you search for that, you're going to find Score B-Ball is either top or in the top 2 or 3 in Google search results.
Correct.
Now, if you type for Tulsa basketball lessons, you're going to find that Score is top in the search engines. Now, if you were going to search for Tulsa basketball training, you're going to find that Score basketball is top. Now, Chup, being top in Google, do you think that impacts Score B-Ball?
Absolutely.
You think it does?
In an amazing way.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So step number one, I want to put this on the show notes. This is the Score basketball case study, okay? So step number one, we had to help them get to the top of Google. Now, that is not a purple cow, but that was what we had to do. We had to get him to the top of Google. Now, once he got to the top of Google, I'm going to pull up his stats so I can read them off here to you. Right now, in a typical week, we're getting over 24,000 people who are seeing his ads.
Ooh.
And 3,233 people a week clicking on his advertisements.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's insane.
I know. So he has 11 leads that came in this past week. He's been in Germany the last couple weeks, and so he's turned down his advertising a little bit. But if you look over the weeks here, like you're seeing March, April, he's averaging almost 25 leads a week for basketball every week, and the guy converts about half of them into members. But his purple cow, a lot of people say, well, what's his purple cow? His purple cow is that this guy has a history of success. He's been the coach for over 50 Division I basketball players, including Ralph Charles, Kalina Azubuike, Jason Rainey, who played for Arizona University, Kalina Azubuike, who played for the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks and the Warriors. I mean, you think about he's worked with a lot of former NBA players. Shea Seals from the University of Tulsa, who played for the Lakers, Lee Mayberry. These are real folks. And up on his site, he shows you how he compares to the competition.
Powerful.
So if you're going online, you're going, well, what does Score do differently from everybody else? He'll show you how his program is different and or better than everybody else. Then, so his purple cow is that he is the best basketball coaching facility in Tulsa, but he proves it. It's different than just saying he's the best. He proves it. Again, his purple cow is he's the best, but he proves it. It's different than just saying he's the best. He proves it. Just saying you're the best is puffery. Proving it with facts, that's impressive. Then he has a little marker on his website where it says, experience Oklahoma's highest and most reviewed basketball camps. And if you click it, it takes you to his reviews. And the guy has over 185 reviews right now. He's 186 reviews as of the time of this show right now. Also, if you're a first-time visitor to Score, your first lesson, Chup, is free.
That's amazing. Why
Chup,
would you not want to try it?
It's free.
Why would you not want to go there?
And look here, the history
got all
of
the
success.
proof, right? He's got the history of success.
Right.
He's got the Google reviews. He's got the ads running for him. You get there and you see, try your first lesson free.
That's his no-brainer.
Come on.
And his purple cow. That is a move. Chup, that's a move. Chup, tell us about one of your clients you want to brag on, because I want to really get specific to show the listeners this is not a unicorn event. This is not just Seth Godin, who sold a company to Yahoo for millions of dollars, teaching you. These are real things that you can apply, real moves that actually work.
So I got a good one. We just came up with this, I think it was last week, actually. Guy Shepard over at Shepard Automotive. He is a diligent doer. He is a super grinder. He's an awesome guy. And his whole move is that he wants to be that trusted mechanic, the person you could send your mom to or your sister, anybody you could send to. He's a Christian guy. He works with Christian values. And so we've been working on, he's got no-brainer offers.
Guy Shepard, you better get to 100 Google reviews as soon as possible. Guy Shepard, I swear. You got 66 reviews right now. You got to get to 100, Guy Shepard.
Coming for you. But right now, it's get $25 off your first oil change, and that's been getting some traction for him. But what we came up with, Clay, I want to get your take on this, is we got a new saying.
Come on.
It's going to be Shepard Automotive. He's your guy. Because everybody needs a guy. When your car's broke down, you need a guy.
That.
His name is Guy. His
That's
name
good.
is Guy Shepard, Shepard Automotive. He's your guy.
He's your guy.
So when somebody asks, hey, my transmission sounded weird. Do you know a guy? Do you have a guy? That's what I always say.
Now, Guy Shepard, let's walk you through his case study, okay?
Right.
So step one, you had to get him to the top of Google, right?
Top of Google, Oklahoma City Auto Repair.
2, he's had to gather objective reviews from as many clients as possible. And a lot of people are resistant or hesitant to give people a review. They don't want their name on the internet. They don't know how to do it. They're busy, whatever. But Guy's been very persistent, asking his real customers for objective reviews, and he's scored 66 reviews. And now he has a no-brainer, and you can check it out at shepardautomotive.com. It says get $25 off of your first oil change. But my friends, this is how it works. There's no easy get-rich-quick move. How long did it take Guy Shepard to get to the top of Google?
Oh, my gosh. It was a 9 or 10 month long campaign.
How's he doing right now, though? Are his sales growing?
His sales are growing. He's up. We just figured it out. I think he's up This month was down just a little bit, but he's up at 18% overall over
For the
last
year.
For the year.
Yeah, now Score Basketball, just so you know, he's up over 50% since we first started working with the guy.
Face, yeah.
But I mean, Platinum Pest, I think they've almost tripled sales, I heard.
That was at 440% or something.
It was like more than 4 times, and Marshall's their coach. And so all I would say is that we want our clients to do well, but we can't help you if we don't get a chance to know you. So if you're out there and you say, gosh, I want to be one of these case studies, I want my business to grow, what I encourage you to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com and schedule your one-on-one business coaching session. And one of our clients, a show sponsor, a great guy, is a company out there owned by a guy by the name of Travis. This company's Williams Contracting. Now, if you have a business and you're saying to yourself, gosh, I want to add on to my building. I mean, do you want to build on to your office building? Do you want to build on to your church? Do you want to add on to your school? Do you want to build a restaurant? Do you want to expand your commercial shopping center? If you said yes to any of those things, you need to check out our good friends at Williams Contracting. Their website is will-con.com. That's will-con.com. You might be saying to yourself, could you say it slower? I'm trying to write it down. WILL-CON.com. Check them out today. Williams Contracting. Their phone number is 918-682-5511. will-con.com. Stay tuned.
3, 2, 1, boom! Make sure you never miss a broadcast by signing up for the Thrive Time Show podcast.
Rise and grind, the answers you will find. We drop knowledge bombs each and every time. Boom is the sound, you is the noun. The verb is the action, it must happen now. You gotta run the forest to join the chorus of the Thrive Nation that has gone before you. With no excuse, it's time to let it loose. Apply what you learn, the scoreboard is the truth.
All right, Thrive Nation, welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. The entire focus of today's show is trying to help you get your product or service to stand out in a cluttered in the cluttered commerce, in the marketplace, in a world where there's so much advertisement noise. How do you stand out? So I'm going to list off a bunch of purple cows that I'd like for Chup to put on the show notes so you as a listener can think about them, research them, and decide whether you could replicate them in some capacity. All right, so Chubb, we're going to do this, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. We have a lot we're going to go through here and see if you can keep up with them, okay? So the first one is thebigtexan.com. We talked about it on yesterday's show, but it is home of the 72-ounce steak. And a lot of people have heard about it, but they say, well, what is the challenge? How does it work? Well, it says here on bigtexan.com, the entire meal must be completed in 1 hour. If any of the meal is not consumed, swallowed, you lose. Before the time starts, you'll be allowed to cut into the steak and take one bite. If the steak tastes good and is cooked to your satisfaction, we will start the time upon your acceptable approval. The time will not stop, and the contest is on to make sure. So make sure before you say yes. Once you have started, you're not allowed to stand up, leave your table, or have anyone else touch your meal. You'll be disqualified if anyone assists you in the cutting, preparing, or eating of your meal. This is your contest. You don't have to eat the fat, but we will judge this. Should you become ill, the contest is over. You lose. You are required to pay the full amount up front. You will win. And if you win, you will get a 100% refund. You must sit at the table that we assign. If you do not win the steak challenge, you are welcome to take the leftovers with you. No consumption or sharing of the leftovers is allowed in the restaurant once the contest is over. If you fail to complete the challenge, you must pay the $72.
That's a big steak.
Dude, 72 ounces.
With all the fixins.
So let's divide that by 16, because there's 16 ounces in a pound, right? So that's a 4.5-pound steak. So all I'm saying is that is actually something that stands out in the crowded marketplace. That's a real thing.
And I knew about this before you even brought it up yesterday, which proves the point that it works.
How did you know about it?
I drove by billboards traveling around as a kid. Everybody knows about the giant steak in Amarillo. Go down there, try to eat it. I was a young man, Clay. I wanted a large steak.
Now, another place that everyone needs to know about, and a lot of people do know about it, it's called the Little Man Ice Cream.
Oh, this place is awesome.
Now, this is what they do. This is a powerful no-brainer that they have, and a powerful purple cow. What they do is their actual restaurant. I'm not sure, Chubb, how you would describe. I'm going to pull it on the big screen so you can see it. Let's put it on the show notes. Let's look up Little Man Ice Cream, and let's go to the Google Map and see if we can't find the map. So you could give the listeners a link to the actual map. I think that's going to be the move here for us. But I'm gonna zoom in here so all the listeners, if you can, when you get to the show notes, all the show notes are always available at thrivetimeshow.com. But when you get there it is, Chubb. Look at that. How would you describe the Little Man Ice Cream store?
That's like an old school milking container, not like a milk container, but like the one that you actually put under the cow.
Right.
It's big, but it's like
Chubb, do you see
30 feet tall.
Do you see that line?
Yeah, there's a Google Map line. Happened to be when the Google car drove by. There's a line out to the street.
There's always a line. If you go there, there's always a line. I think he has a video here on his site. Let me see if we can link to that video. Oh, yeah, this is a video on YouTube. Let's put the link to that video on YouTube. You can find it at littlemanIceCream.com. But what he does is he does a scoop for scoop. So what he does is if you buy ice cream from the Little Man Ice Cream, this is what he says on his website they do. He says, Little Man Ice Cream was built on a belief that business exists to make a difference. Since the day we opened for business, we have made giving back a part of who we are. Little Man's Scoop for Scoop program is how you are helping us to make the difference. For every scoop of ice cream purchased, Little Man matches that scoop with a donated scoop of rice, beans, or other essentials to a community in need anywhere around the world. To date, Little Man has delivered to communities in 9 countries spread across 4 different continents. Scoop for Scoop missions directly send our employees to volunteer their time and talents. Our partners with reputable mutual understanding and a commitment to always being a force. And it goes on, it just goes on to explain how much they've given away. You can check them out at littlemanIceCream.com. And by the way, Chubb, I want to make note of that. We should get the Little Man Ice Cream founder guy on the show.
Ooh,
the owner. Would that be a great guest? Wouldn't that be a great guest?
You talk. I'm gonna put that on my to-do list.
Little Man Ice Cream. Yeah, put him on the Dream 100. I'm writing this down right now. The Dream 100. Little Man Ice Cream founder. That's a great cause, a great company. That's a good one. Now, Chubb, another company out there that has a purple cow that I want to brag on, and it happens to be a client of mine, is Morrow, Lye, and Kitterman. Morrow, Lye, and Kitterman. They are a pediatric dentistry in Tulsa who has been growing at a rate of more than 30% year over year.
313 Google reviews.
These guys are rocking. Now, what they do is they have a special where they say that your child gets free treatment until the age of 3. It's free until 3. Now, Chubb, why does that work for them, offering free pediatric dentistry until the child is 3?
Well, who doesn't want to take advantage of that for the first 3 years when you're going through this with your first kid, maybe a young kid? And then it's awesome for them because now they're hooked in. They're in the system, baby.
And dude, look inside their location there. They have
it's super cool.
You see they have like a video games for the kids there. They have a fun playhouse area for the kids. Kids love it. They have an aquarium in their lobby.
Saltwater action.
People love it there.
It's a cool spot. They're really, really good at what they do as well, so that helps.
Yes, but I mean, they have decided to break out of the clutter where there's so many other dentists out there. They wanted to stand out, and they've created a purple cow. Chubb, can you think of one of your clients right now that's created a purple cow where you say to yourself, man, that is really a good move?
Yeah, so Best Choice Auto Glass.
Oh, come on now.
These guys are super diligent as well. We came up with a no-brainer for them and a purple cow to kind of separate out. Everybody in their industry it's a lot of low price, not a lot of margins.
Low price.
And so what Mark and Donna over there, that the owners of Best Choice Auto Glass, they pride themselves in doing a really good job being fast and mobile responsive. And he always was going around cleaning up the cars afterwards. He was wiping down all the windows. He's vacuuming out the front floorboards.
Wipe them down.
But the thing is, he wasn't
wipe down, clean the cars.
He wasn't telling anybody about it. He wasn't letting anybody know that he was over delivering.
What's his name?
Mark Burgess.
Mark Burgess wipes them down. He cleans the cars. He wipes them down. Sorry.
So we came up with the Best Choice Detail. So with any glass replacement, we'll offer them the Best Choice Detail for free, where they clean your windshield inside and out of your front windows. They vacuum your floorboards and wipe down all of your door jambs, because that never happens.
If you have a church, if you have a business, if you have an organization, you have to have a purple cow if you want your organization to grow. And so I'm going to give you the purple cow of our next show sponsor. This is RC Auto Specialists. Roy owns the company. It's a Christian-owned business. But here's his purple cow. These guys can do any kind of Ford automotive repair that you need. If you have a Ford vehicle, a Ford truck, a massive Ford vehicle, if you need your transmission to be fixed, battery issues, lighting and wiper blades, heat and air systems, suspension and alignment, they have over 80 years of combined experience. If the Ford Power Stroke diesel service and repair, that's what they do. If you have a Ford automobile, check out rcautospecialists.com. That's rcautospecialists.com. rcautospecialists.com. Stay tuned.
Attend the world's best business workshop led by America's #1 business coach for free by subscribing on iTunes and leaving us an objective review. Claim your tickets by emailing us proof that you did it and your contact information to info@thrivetimeshow.com.
Welcome back to the Thrive Time Show on your radio. And today we're talking about purple cows, how to stand out in a cluttered marketplace. And I want to brag on one of our upcoming show guests. We'll be interviewing him, I believe, not tomorrow's show, but the day after tomorrow. So 2 days we'll have him on the show. This is Muggsy Bogues. Now, Muggsy Bogues, if you look up the name, his original name his given name is Tyrone Curtis Bogues, Bogues. Now, he played 14 seasons in the NBA, 10 seasons for the Hornets. He also played for the Washington Bullets, now the Wizards, the Golden State Warriors, and the Toronto Raptors. The thing about him that is a purple cow, he's got so many purple cows, but he's got a couple that really resonate with me. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland, and he was raised in the projects, which so many kids, unfortunately, are raised in the projects. Where I see the first purple cow is his father went to prison. His dad went to prison. I mean, wasn't raised by a dad, and so his mom raised him, and yet he went on to play Division I basketball at Wake Forest. You might say, okay, there's some other kids that's maybe not a big purple cow. Maybe that's, you say, gosh, this kid didn't have a father. His mom raised him. He went to play at Wake Forest. That's impressive.
It's a purple calf.
That's not maybe the total purple cow. He was drafted 12th overall in the first round of the NBA draft. And you might say, that's really not that impressive. And that's impressive. I mean, wow, that's good. But that's not really in the world, gosh, we're looking for a real purple cow. The guy's 5'3". He's 5'3" tall. One of the players he played with was Larry Johnson. And when he was on the Hornets, Larry got traded to the Knicks. And if you look at Larry gave him a hug before the game, look at the difference between Muggsy Bogues and Larry Johnson.
I got one, but go back one. I'm going to put it on the show notes.
Look at that. Michael Jordan versus Muggsy Bogues.
It's the one where he's standing next to Manute Bol and they're holding the basketballs right there. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, the difference is it's unbelievable.
They're on the same team.
Right.
It's insanity. I'll put it on there.
Look at him getting by Charles Oakley. How in the world, look how fast he is.
That's right.
So Muggsy Bogues will be a guest on the show. I'm super excited to have him. Also, we have have you ever read the book called Made to Stick there, Chep?
I have not read that one.
No? You have not?
Nope, but I've heard
it's
a lot
on
about
our
it.
bookshelf.
I've heard a lot about it.
I'm working on the show outline today called Made to Stick by the Heath brothers. These guys, they wrote a book that is phenomenal. It teaches people how to write advertisements or how to write public speeches or how to have ideas that get stuck in the head of your ideal and likely buyers. And that book is absolutely powerful. They're going to be on the show here coming up in a few days as well. So we've got a lot of great guests coming on the show who are purple cows in their own right. But I really want to help you, the listener, find the purple cow for your business. I'm trying to help you find one for your business. So I'm just going to keep firing off examples. Chup and I'll go back and forth, and we're going to see if we can help you discover a purple cow that will work for your business. Chup, can you tell the listeners about Tip Top Canine? They have a great purple cow for their company.
Tip Top Canine is a dog training company, and it's $1 for your first lesson.
How much?
$1 single for your first lesson. And part of their purple cow is the fact that their systems are so awesome. Ryan and Rachel have developed such an awesome system for training dogs that they can get some major traction with your canine animal in that first lesson. So they wow, and they get them with the $1, and then they wow them, and it's a no-brainer after that.
So if you're out there and you say, I have a dog that's starting to bite or starting to get rowdy, it's not behaving, what you could do is you could do a Google search for Tulsa dog training, And you're going to see this working. So here's the case study. Here are the steps we had to take them through. One, Chuck, we had to get them to be the top of the Google search results. And if you Google search Tulsa dog training, you're going to see their top. Two, we had to make sure that they gathered reviews from their actual customers. Chuck, why is it so important that they took the time to gather real reviews from their real customers?
Because 88% of people are reading reviews
According
online.
to Forbes.
According to Forbes. I'll put it on the show notes.
Right.
Are reading reviews online. And not only that, they trust them more than the personal recommendation of a friend or family member. So it's so important to get those reviews. It's also important to get reviews because if you want to run ads for your business and you don't have above 40 or 50 reviews and you're not to 100 yet, before you get to that 40, it's not wise to run a bunch of ads and spend a bunch of money because there's no proof out there. You have no Google Trail, no resume online.
And then their first lesson is $1, as you mentioned. Now, the $1 lesson is a great value, but it wouldn't work well if they didn't have a lot of reviews. They need to have both.
Exactly.
But their Purple Cows, it's $1 for the first lesson. So I'd ask you again, Mr. Listener, what is your no-brainer? Chuck, can you think of another company you work with that has a no-brainer? Can you talk about the Keystone Harbor folks you've worked with?
Yeah, so Keystone Harbor is a marina on Keystone Lake here right outside of Tulsa, and they have a almost brand new facility out there on the lake. So their Purple Cow was that it's new, clean, and close. All of the other harbors and marinas in Oklahoma are 50 to 70 years older than this place. It's closer to Tulsa than any other big lake experience, and it's clean. They clean it. Turns out there's a lot of cobwebs on all these other places, so they clean this place up. And then so the way we got a hold of them, people, was that they had a really new, awesome fleet of rental boats and jet skis and things like that. So we put some no-brainers out there, rent one jet ski, get one for $1 for your first hour on a rental boat, and it really just drove a lot of traffic out to their facility.
Let me give you another Purple Cow. Think about Outback Steakhouse. Outback Steakhouse is famous for the Australian-themed steakhouse. Chuck, are you familiar with the history of Outback Steakhouse?
I know that they have a bloomin' onion and something called Alice Springs chicken that smells like an armpit but tastes delicious.
You think it smells like an armpit?
Yeah, it's like the cheese and bacon and onion mixture kind of smells like an armpit, but I tell you what.
Let me give you some fun factoids.
Okay.
Outback Steakhouse is an Australian-themed American casual dining restaurant, but it has an Australian theme.
Right.
But it was founded by Bob Bashman, Chris Sullivan, Trudy Cooper, and Tim Gannon in 1988. None of which had Australian ties. Think about that. They did not have Australian ties. They have a business based in Tampa, Florida, and they decided, you know what? We need to have a way for our company to stand out. And it has an Australian theme. Why, Chuck? Why does it have an Australian theme?
Because apparently when they were going around doing their research, there was no other Australian-themed steakhouse restaurants.
Well, think about how many steakhouses there are that you can't remember the name of. It's
Right.
like there's always like Big Texas Steakhouse, the Texan Steakhouse,
Right.
Big Texas.
Charlie Steaks.
There's so many of them.
Right.
But Outback is stuck in our heads
It's
because of the
ubiquitous.
Australian theme. Do you do an Australian accent? Can you do an
Hey,
Australian?
good day, mate.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Put some shrimp on the old bobby.
Hey, let's put some shrimp on the bobby.
Yeah, so all I'm just saying is that worked. I
Right.
mean, the endless kangaroo references and all of the Australian themed things, that actually worked for those guys. Now, the next Purple Cow I want to talk about is Starbucks. What makes Starbucks stick out? What makes Starbucks stick out? What makes Sam Adams beer stick out? Because the beer itself at Sam Adams is known to be good, but the actual name helps them break out of the clutter of commerce. It has all those historical references.
Right.
It relates to the revolutionary time where America fought against the British when the colonists fought against the British to gain our independence. Starbucks does everything they do as a Purple Cow. So I'm going to list off the Starbucks Purple Cow moves, and we can put it on the show notes. If you go into Starbucks and order a small, they don't have a small. They have a tall. Then they have like a grande, right? And they have like a venti. So I think it's tall, grande, and venti are their sizes.
Something like that.
Starbucks, the people that serve you coffee are not coffee people. They are baristas. Chuck, why are they baristas and not coffee people?
Because a barista sounds fancy. Sounds like something you might remember.
Howard Schultz said, I'm not charging you for the coffee, I'm charging you for the ambiance. He created this thing called the third place.
That's right.
And so it's the decor, it's the atmosphere, it's the overhead music, it's the sights, it's the sounds. That's why you're paying $5 for a cup of coffee. And Starbucks has absolutely poured their heart into it. And there's a book that I'm going to be breaking down not in the too distant future called Pour Your Heart Into It by the founder of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. But if you're looking for a purple cow, just look up the companies we've referenced on today's show and yesterday's show, and you just have to lock yourself in a room and not come out until you have a purple cow. If you have a business coach, you're one of our coaching clients, have your coach work with you on this. You have to develop a purple cow. If you don't have a purple cow, you will not win. And we want to help you. We want to help you. We want to get to know you. We want to help coach you. Our mission is to mentor millions. And so the only way we can do that is if we get a chance to meet you and interact with you. And so I'd encourage you to go to thrivetimeshow.com today. And there you can find the podcast that you're listening to now. You can find all of the show notes we keep up there. You can book your tickets for our in-person workshops. You could schedule a one-on-one consultation with a business coach. Or you can find our video vault with thousands and thousands of videos archived there at thrivetimeshow.com. But June 22nd and June 23rd, our next workshop is coming up quickly. If you've yet to purchase your tickets, buy your tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, purchase your tickets today at thrivetimeshow.com. The event is June 22nd and June 23rd. And now, without any further ado, we always like to end with a boom. 3, 2, 1, boom!
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Moore. I'm a pediatric dentist. Through our new digital marketing plan, we have seen a marked increase in the number of new patients that we're seeing every month, year over year. One month, for example, we went from 110 new patients the previous year to over 180 new patients in the same month. And overall, our average is running about 40 to 42% increase month over month, year over year. The group of people required to implement our new digital marketing plan is immense, starting with a business coach, videographers, photographers, web designers. Back when I graduated dental school in 1985, nobody advertised. The only marketing that was ethically allowed in everybody's eyes was mouth-to-mouth marketing. By choosing to use the services, you're choosing to use a proven turnkey marketing and coaching system that will grow your practice and get you the results that you're looking for. I went to the University of Oklahoma College of Dentistry, graduated in 1983, and then I did my pediatric dental residency at Baylor College of Dentistry from 1983 to 1985. I established my practice here in Tulsa in 1985.
One of the things that I hear in my world a lot as a business consultant from business owners is they will tell me, Clay, I want you to help me, but my industry is different. And so on today's show, I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client who's a pediatric dentist. And I also am going to introduce you to a wonderful client who's a real estate agent. And I'm also going to introduce you to a wonderful client who does mortgages, and a wonderful client who's a family doctor, and a wonderful client who trains dogs, and a wonderful client who runs the UPS stores for all of Canada. Then I'll introduce you to a wonderful client who has a massive real estate empire, real estate franchise empire. Then I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client that sells new homes. Then I'm going to introduce you to a wonderful client who sells insurance, and then a wonderful client who runs a church, and a wonderful client who the wonderful client who sells insurance. I think I mentioned that. A wonderful client that has a research lab. And at the end of the day, you'll discover that if you will follow the proven systems that I will teach you at our in-person workshops or through our one-on-one coaching program, it's like bumper bowling for business. It's like if you're tired of throwing gutter balls and you want to have success, this system will absolutely change your life. It's a step-by-step system. It's a linear workflow. It's going to absolutely change your life. And without any further ado, here is Dr. Morrow sharing about how this system has changed his life and his business's life and the lives of his employees and the growth of his pediatric dentistry. So here we go.
Hello, my name is Charles Kolaw with Kolaw Fitness. Today I want to tell you a little bit about Clay Clark and how I know Clay Clark. Clay Clark has been my business coach since 2017. He's helped us grow from 2 locations to now 6 locations. We're planning to do 7 locations in 7 years and then franchise. And Clay has done a great job of helping us navigate anything that has to do with like running the business, building the systems, the checklists, the workflows, the audits, how to navigate lease agreements, how to buy property, how to work with brokers and builders. This guy is just amazing. He's this kind of guy has worked in every single industry. He's written books with like Lee Cockrell, head of Disney, with the 40,000 cast members. He's friends with like Mike Lindell. He does Reawaken America tours, where he does these tours all across the country, where 10,000 or more people show up to some of these tours. On the day-to-day, he does anywhere from about 160 companies. He's at the top. He has a team of business coaches, videographers, and graphic designers and web developers, and they run 160 companies every single week. So think of this guy with a team of business coaches running 160 companies. So in the weekly, he's running 160 companies. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's doing Reawaken America tours. Every 6 to 8 weeks, he's also doing business conferences where 200 people show up, and he teaches people a 13-step proven system that he's done and worked with billionaires, helping them grow their companies. I've seen guys from startups go from startup to being multimillionaires, teaching people how to get time freedom and financial freedom through the system. Critical thinking, document creation, putting it into organizing everything in their head to building it into a franchisable, scalable business. Like one of his businesses has like 500 franchises. That's just one of the companies or brands that he works with. So amazing guy. Elon Musk, kind of like smart guy. He kind of comes off sometimes as socially awkward, but he's so brilliant, and he's taught me so much. When I say that, like Clay is like, he doesn't care what people think when you're talking to him. He cares about where you're going in your life and where he can get you to go. And that's what I like most about him. He's like a good coach. A coach isn't just making you feel good all the time. A coach is actually helping you get to the best you. And Clay has been an amazing business coach. Through the course of that, we became friends. I was really most impressed with him is when I was shadowing him one time. We went into a business deal and listened to it. I got to shadow and listen to it. And when we walked out, I knew that he could make millions on the deal. And they were super excited about working with him. And he told me, he's like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to turn it down, because he knew it was going to harm the common good of people in the long run. And the guy's integrity just really wowed me. It brought tears to my eyes to see that this guy, his highest desire was to do what's right. And anyways, just an amazing man. So anyways, impacted me a lot. He's helped navigate anytime I've got nervous or worried about how to run the company, or navigating competition and an economy that's like, I remember we got closed down for 3 months. He helped us navigate on how to stay open, how to get back open, how to just survive through all the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, because our clubs were all closed for 3 months, and you have $350,000 of bills you've got to pay, and we have no accounts receivable. He helped us navigate that, and of course we were conservative enough that we could afford to take that on for a period of time. But it was, anyways, great man. I'm very impressed with him. So Clay, thank you for everything you're doing, and I encourage you, if you haven't ever worked with Clay, work with Clay. He's going to help magnify you, and there's nobody I have ever met that has the ability to work as hard as he does. He probably sleeps 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and literally the rest of the time he's working, and he can outwork everybody in the room every single day, and he loves it. So anyways, this is Charles Kola with Kola Fitness. Thank you, Clay, and anybody out there that's wanting to work with Clay, it's a great opportunity to ever work with him. So you guys have a blessed one. This is Charles Kola. We'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Aaron Antis with Shaw Homes. I first heard about Clay through a mortgage lender here in town who had told me what a great job he had been doing for them, and I actually noticed he was driving a Lamborghini all of a sudden, so I was willing to listen. In my career, I've sold a little over $800 million in real estate. So honestly, I thought I kind of knew everything about marketing and homes. And then I met Clay, and my perception of what I knew and what I could do definitely changed. After doing $800 million in sales over a 15-year career, I really thought I knew what I was doing. I've been managing a large team of salespeople for the last 10 years here with Shaw Homes. And I mean, we've been a company that's been in business for 35 years. We've become one of the largest builders in the Tulsa area, and that was without Clay. So when I came to know Clay, I really thought, man, there's not much more I need to know, but I'm willing to listen. The interesting thing is our internet leads from our website has actually, in a 4-month period of time, has gone from somewhere around 10 to 15 leads in a month to 180 internet leads in a month. Just from the few things that he's shown us how to implement that I honestly probably never would have come up with on my own. So I got a lot of good things to say about the system that Clay put in place with us, and it's just been an incredible experience. I am very glad that we met and had the opportunity to work with Clay. So the interaction with the team and with Clay on a weekly basis is honestly very enlightening. One of the things that I love about Clay's perspective on things is that he doesn't come from my industry. He's not somebody who's in the home building industry. I've listened to all the experts in my field. Our company has paid for me to go to seminars, international builder shows, all kinds of places where I've had the opportunity to learn from the experts in my industry. But the thing that I found working with Clay is that he comes from such a broad spectrum of working with so many different types of businesses that he has a perspective that's difficult for me to gain because I get so entrenched in what I do, I'm not paying attention to what other leading industry experts are doing. And Clay really brings that perspective for me. It is very valuable time every week when I get that hour with him. From my perspective, the reason that any business owner who's thinking about hooking up with Thrive needs to definitely consider it is because the results that we've gotten in a very short period of time are honestly monumental. It has really exceeded my wildest expectation of what he might be able to do. I came in skeptical because I'm very pragmatic, and as I've gone through the process over just a few months, I've realized it's probably one of the best moves we've ever made. I think a lot of people probably feel like they don't need a business or marketing consultant because they maybe are a little bit prideful and like to think they know everything. I know that's how I felt coming in. I mean, we're a big company that's definitely one of the largest in town. And so we kind of felt like we knew what we were doing. And I think for a lot of people, they let their ego get in the way of listening to somebody that might have a better or different perspective than theirs. I would just really encourage you, if you're thinking about working with Clay, I mean, the thing is, it's month to month. Go give it a try and see what happens. I think in the 35-year history of Shaw Homes, this is probably the best thing that's happened to us, and I know if you give them a shot, I think you'll feel the same way. I know for me, the thing I would have missed out on if I didn't work with Clay is I would have missed out on literally an 1,800% increase in our internet leads. Going from 10 a month to 180 a month, that would have been a huge financial decision to just decide not to give it a shot. I would absolutely recommend Clay Clark to anybody who's thinking about working with somebody in marketing. I would skip over anybody else you were thinking about, and I would go straight to Clay and his team. I guarantee you're not going to regret it because we sure haven't.
My name is Danielle Sprick, and I am the founder of D Sprick Realty Group here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. After being a stay-at-home mom for 12 years and my 3 kids started school and they were in school full-time, I was at a crossroads and trying to decide what do I want to do? My degree and my background is in education, but after being a mom and staying home and all of that, I just didn't have a passion for it like I once did. My husband suggested real estate. He's a home builder, so real estate and home building go hand in hand, and we just rolled with it. I love people, I love working with people, I love the building relationships, but one thing that was really difficult for me was the business side of things. The processes and the advertising and marketing. I knew that I did not have what I needed to make that what it should be. So I reached out to Clay at that time. And he and his team have been extremely instrumental in helping us build our brand, help market our business, our agents, the homes that we represent. Everything that we do is a direct line from Clay and his team and all that they've done for us. We launched our brokerage, our real estate brokerage, 8 months ago. And in that time, we've gone from myself and one other agent to just this week, we signed on our 16th agent. We have been blessed with the fact that we right now have just over 10 million in pending transactions. 3 years ago, I never would have even imagined that I would be in this role that I'm in today, building a business, having 16 agents. But I have to give credit where credit's due. And Clay and his team and the business coaching that they've offered us has been huge. It's been instrumental in what we're doing. Don't ever limit your vision. When you dream big, big things happen.
I started a business because I couldn't work for anyone else. I do things my way. I do what I think is in the best interest of the patient. I don't answer to insurance companies. I don't answer to large corporate organizations. I answer to my patient, and that's it. My thought when I opened my clinic was I can do this all myself. I don't need additional outside help in many ways. I went to medical school. I can figure this out. But it was a very, very steep learning curve. Within the first 6 months of opening my clinic, I had a $63,000 embezzlement. I lost multiple employees. Clay helped us weather the storm of some of the things that are just a lot of people experience, especially in the medical world. He was instrumental in helping with the specific written business plan. He's been instrumental in hiring good quality employees, using the processes that he outlines for getting in good talent, which is extremely difficult. He helped me in securing the business loans. He helped me with web development and search engine optimization. We've been able to really keep a steady stream of clients coming in because they found us on the web. With everything that I encountered, everything that I experienced, I quickly learned it is worth every penny to have someone in your team that can walk you through and even avoid some of the pitfalls that are almost invariable in starting your own business. I'm Dr. Chad Edwards, and I own Revolution Health and Wellness Clinic.
Hey, Clay Clark and my Thrive peeps. It's Steve Currington, as you can tell. Although I'm not wearing my signature green shirt as usual, but I am riding in my signature green Lamborghini. And I just wanted to say how appreciative I am of Thrive and all the guys at Thrive Time and the show and everything that you guys have done. At Total Ending Concepts, we have had tremendous growth and a lot of things changing, especially on the marketing front. And from a coaching perspective and from a web presence and branding, and our internet leads are up. Everything is hammering on all cylinders, and really we're just trying to figure out how we can leverage the systems and the processes that we're learning at Thrive more in our business. So now we're setting up a lead tracking system that has been long overdue, and we're doing lots of stuff. But I wanted to take a minute and say thank you to Thrive and Clay Clark and Dr. Z and everybody for all the help in helping us grow our business and hopefully buy more Lamborghinis like this the more we sell. So appreciate it, guys. See ya.
I'm Rachel with Tip Top Canine, and we just want to give a huge thank you to Clay and Vanessa Clark.
Hey guys, I'm Ryan with Tip Top Canine. Just want to say a big thank you to Thrive 15. Thank you to Make Your Life Epic. We love you guys, we appreciate you, and really just appreciate how far you've taken us.
This is our old house, right? This is where we used to live a few years ago. This is our old neighborhood. See? It's nice, right?
So this is my old van and our old school marketing, and this is our old team. And by team, I mean it's me and another guy.
This is our new house with our new neighborhood. This is our new van with our new marketing, and this is our new team We went from 4 to 14, and I took this beautiful photo. We worked with several different business coaches in the past, and they were all about helping Ryan sell better and just teaching sales, which is awesome, but Ryan is a really great salesman. So we didn't need that. We needed somebody to help us get everything that was in his head out into systems, into manuals and scripts, and actually build a team. So now that we have systems in place, we've gone from 1 to 10 locations in only a year.
In October 2016, we grossed 13 grand for the whole month. Right now it's 2018, the month of October. It's only the 22nd. We've already grossed a little over 50 grand for the whole month, and we still have time to go. We're just thankful for you, thankful for Thrive and your mentorship, and we're really thankful that you guys have helped us to grow a business that we run now instead of the business running us. Just thank you times 1,000.
So we really just want to thank you, Clay, and thank you, Vanessa, for everything you've done, everything you've helped us with. We love you guys.
Bird, they said it couldn't be done. They said you couldn't fill up the BOK Center. They said it wasn't possible. But yet if you look, it appears to be full. Oh, we're making America boom again.
Very full.
Very full. Lots of marketing, courtesy of John Kelly and Devin and Darlin and
this mind.
And this mind and this hat. So there it is, FD Oilers. Sold out, baby.
My name is Taylor Hall. I'm the general manager of the Tulsa Oilers professional hockey team. You know, our goal every night here at the BOK Center is to try to fill the seats with lots of people and create an exciting environment so when somebody comes to a game, they want to come back. Working with Clay and the staff at Thrive, they've really helped us in many ways. Website and graphic design and video production and a lot of things that go along. And a lot of businesses, including ours, doesn't have a staff for a full-time videographer or graphic designer. But the biggest thing that we noticed was the needle mover. More sales, more attendance, more successes in business. We had a record year last season working with Clay for the first time. Our average attendance is higher than it's ever been. So there was a lot of really cool things that we did, and they worked. That's the nice thing about working with Clay and the team over there. It's just not one person, you get the entire team. If you need video design and editing and production, they've got that. If you need graphic design, if you need some coaching, your salespeople and call scripts, PR, they offer all that. Clay was instrumental in helping guiding us and getting us on the right track so that we could really raise the bar and become ultra successful. So it's been an amazing experience for us.
My name is Nick Smith and I'm an agency owner with Farmers Insurance. I grew up in a middle-class family all the way up until I was about 13, and then my dad lost his job, and then all of a sudden he was gone and I was being raised by my mom by herself. She was probably making 20 grand a year. In order for me to have a car, I had to pay for the car. I had to pay for the gas. I had to do everything on my own. So the independent thinking had to come early and if I wanted to do anything. A couple of years ago, man, I was stuck in a rut. I really honestly was, and I couldn't see it. Not because I was doing it wrong, it's because I didn't know any better. Rates were not good. Selling was difficult. Staffing was just unbelievably difficult to keep good staff in here. I was having a ton of turnover. And I was about ready to hang it up and sell out. I was just done. And that's about when I got introduced to the concept of the Wheel of Wealth and Thrive. Some of the specific things I've learned about running my business is systems and being organized. Before, I think I just kind of shot from the hip a lot of times. But man, since I started this whole journey, and I've developed systems for each of the employees, but not just the employees, but for the position. So the fear of wondering when I'm gone, wondering if things are being done, I don't have to worry quite as much. Business-wise, finally got over the hump and we're actually growing again, whereas before we were just declining. And now we're back up and we're back over what we were a couple of years ago now. The training's ongoing, even to from where I'm at now. I still feel like I need to get further. The training itself is just, it'll rock your world. It really will change the way you think and look at business. So all those things just kind of culminated into this big, successful business that I feel like I have now. All that stuff has just been life-altering.
Clay's awesome. You know, he's very entertaining, very energized, does some quirky, unique ways to sort of get engagement with the audience. So really pleased to have Clay do our keynote today. Well, I think it was being willing to take some risks on stage, taking some risks relative to how to set the audience up. I think that kind of created this sort of what's going to happen next. And so just that risk-taking sort of created a unique tension that I think ultimately resulted in a great experience. Well, you know, I think Clay would be an awesome presenter for a number of groups. One, I think the material that he delivers is spot on, but he also can deliver some additional products and services to the organization, even beyond just the things that he does on stage.
My name is David Drucker. I'm the president for UPS Stores Canada, also a member of the AFA board in an honorary position, so kind of a crossover with both sides. I thought it was great. I thought Clay did a wonderful job. I think anytime you're able to get a diverse group together to start finding the commonalities, you're starting to pull the threads together that are going to make something for the future. And I think that was the objective for today, and I think Clay was really able to pull that out. I thought Clay was really good at shifting speeds. He was fast when he needed to be fast, detailed when he needed to be detailed, was able to read the room every so often if we started drifting off too far to the left or too far to the right. He was right there to rudder us back on course. So, I mean, really, I don't think we could have chosen a better guy for the day to lead us.
My impression of Clay was his energy, and just like the energy that he had on stage, and how passionate he is about his message. And I really felt like I could connect with that because it was very genuine and believable and sincere. And I really appreciate the sincerity of it all. So the lesson nugget is in fact the action nugget. It's like you can think of things all day long, you can read books all day long, you can do whatever you're going to do as far as business planning, but if you don't implement and actually take action, then it doesn't mean anything. It is all about taking the steps and standing up and going forward and engaging in an action activity. Well, what was so different about this is the sense of humor. They're a really great sense of humor, very lively, very engaging and interesting. And a lot of presentations you just kind of sit there and go, oh no. But this was fun. This was fun and interesting and engaging.
Oh, I love Clay. It's very funny. You never know, right? With a keynote speaker, you don't know, so you got to kind of open up. He's got a good sense of humor. I like the video at the beginning. It started out perfect. I'm like, oh great, another speaker that's been to a million corporations. I liked it. It was really well done. The guy's good.
Clay's fantastic. I mean, the guy is hilarious, captivating, kept the room moving. I mean, I love the fact that he got everybody up and moving. The fact that you could get John Tanney up dancing in his seat like that is worth the price of admission right there. Awesome. You know, it just reinvigorates you. You know, you hear somebody talk about how, you put it in systems into your business, how you got to seize the day. I mean, all that stuff is stuff deep down you should be doing, but those reminders help, and it's the right time if you're open to it. I mean, that's what it's all about. Because I'm a product of the 90s, I liked his, Notorious B.I.G. rap a little bit, but I get it, man. He's exactly right. I got a ton of buddies that are sitting around playing PlayStation every day, and they're not studying success, and I think that's the thing. Because to me, the one thing I really take away from that conversation is poverty is our baseline. Everybody knows poverty. You don't need to teach poverty. You need to teach success. And the fact that he said that was like music playing. I think he just is, just really gets our industry. You get a lot of realtors that try and be motivational speakers, but he truly is a motivational speaker. He's a businessman. He's obviously been around the block and, done a lot of things. And I think all of those applications, because real estate at the end of the day is the business of business.
I loved Clay. I've known Clay just socially, but I've never heard him speak before. And I was probably most taken by the fact that he was just common in so many ways and made fun of himself, but also brought that aspect of these are my lessons, and these are lessons from some very influential people who all recognize. So probably what I took away from it the most was the Net Promoter Score and the fact that your wow factor from what you provide to your clients really creates that score. And you really have to go the extra mile to bring people to that level of impression. I appreciated Clay's story about his father and the picture with the kids, with the girls. I thought that was very meaningful. And takes the whole thing, the rest of his message and stories and things that he's sharing, and really puts them in perspective for people who are listening. You could tell he enjoys what he does and believes in what he's presenting, and that's a connection with an audience that is more important than the name or even what's being presented. It's real, it's transparent, and it's genuine.
My name is Josh Wilson. I'm the owner of Living Water Irrigation. So I've been working with Thrive since December of 2017. So the biggest changes we've seen as a company is, first of all, just systematically how we do things, how we present things. Our Google presence is phenomenal. Our website's a million times better. And just the overall accountability and the process by which we're conducting ourselves. So our biggest win since working with Thrive is we literally, March was a record month for us. It was almost twice as much as our biggest month prior to that. In the last week or so, we've closed about $250,000 worth of business. We still have to go dig a bunch of ditches and get it done, but we signed about $250,000 worth of business with the relationships we built, the things that they've implemented through Victoria and Clay and everybody here at Thrive. So I would recommend Thrive to other business owners simply because they can point out where you're flawed and what you need to work on. You just have to be real and honest with yourself on what you need to improve upon. So that would be first and foremost. And the huge reason why I would do it, because it works. It actually, everything that they said when we came in for our initial meeting to today, absolutely positively has been accomplished.
Just how does an irrigation and sprinkler repair company increase in sales by over 450% in just 1 year? When according to Forbes, 9 out of 10 startups fail and 8 out of 10 existing businesses fail. How can one company grow by 450% in 1 year? Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, it is now time for yet another edition of
Wins of the Week!
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working.
You can do it! We are joined by none other than my brother from another mother, Mr. Josh, the founder of Living Water Irrigation. Mr. Josh, welcome onto the show, my friend. How are you?
I am awesome, Clay. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm excited for the listeners to get to know more about you. Could you share the name of your company, a little bit more about what you guys do at Living Water Irrigation, where the name comes from?
Absolutely, positively. So Living Water Irrigation, the most important part of that to me is John 7:38. So it's mentioned in the gospel a number of times, we're the living water. But our specific scripture that we drew our name from is John 7:38. It says, "Whoever believes in me, rivers of living water will flow through him." We have a very distinct vision as a company on who we are and what we want to do. And I believe that I was put here to go make some money to give it away.
And I'm not going to ask you for the specific details of your career and how you started the business as far as a linear timeline, but how long has this particular business been around?
We've been around just 2 years, sir.
2 years. And you guys, we first met. How did we first meet?
I came in and y'all started coaching me over at the Thrive 15.
And do you remember when that was approximately and how you first heard about us?
So it would have been October or November of 17.
October or November of 17.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of your growth as a company, how much have you grown this year?
So this year we're up 450% year over year.
So now that you're implementing this program, you're getting more calls, right? Are you getting more calls?
Absolutely.
Sales are going up. You're gathering reviews from your real customers, adding content to the website, adding a gallery of work.
So I'm going to actually take a minute and make you really uncomfortable, Clay.
Nice.
So when we started with y'all, it was awesome. We had a little company, just me and one dude and one little van.
Yeah.
And 17 was great. I ate more than ramen noodles, but not much more.
Right.
18 was really good. We started to implement the systems, got the boom book, went to a couple conferences, and said, okay, I'm going to buy in. I'm going to sell out. We went to the coaching, got coached by Marshall and Victoria, and started to implement, as opposed to just listen, to actually be doers. It's in James. It says don't just be hearers of the word, but be doers as well. And so we implemented scripts. We implemented systems. We implemented checklist. We implemented a pro forma for quoting and all these things that you talk about.
Yeah.
And so just as a real person, and I'm real, I promise you, there's a bunch of Josh Wilsons out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm a famous baseball player and football player.
Oh, wow.
And a gospel singer.
Oh, wow.
But this Josh Wilson just digs ditches for a living. But I just want to say thank you. Standing here for all the systems. I encourage everybody out there, go pick up Start Here. Go pick up the Boom Book. The stuff you hear on this show, it actually sincerely works. It's not just some nonsensical guy sitting in an awesome man cave who's bored so he wants to record a show. And then from there, here's another super duper move for you. Schedule your day.
Oh, wait a second. That right there is a hot tip.
Holy cow!
Schedule your day.
So I was listening just a few months ago, and I was running all over the Tulsa metro area, from Glenpool to Owasso to Broken Arrow, back to Owasso, to Jinx, to Midtown. And I'm like, man, why am I getting nothing done?
Why am I getting nothing done?
Well, your issue is that you're running these places. You got to drive.
Why am I talking using a megaphone? Back to you.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't have this belly if I was running, Jonathan.
Okay.
So my wife says to me, hey, how was your day, honey? Oh, I worked all day. I did all these things. And I'm like, wait, I have nothing to show that I did anything. So super move number one, you've said it 17,000 times.
Yeah.
Whatever gets scheduled gets done. So now my day is scheduled.
Come on now.
So if it's not on my schedule, nope, doesn't happen.
Listen here. Here's a little secret. You can become successful. You have the tools needed to start and grow a successful company. But you've got to implement the best practice systems. You have to implement the proven systems, checklists, and processes that have been shown to work time and time again. And it is very hard for me to help you implement those systems if we don't get a chance to know you. So if you're out there today and you're saying, I feel stuck, I don't know what to do, I would encourage you to go to thrivetimeshow.com today and watch over 1,000. We have over 1,000 video testimonials from real people just like Josh. Watch those videos and build your faith. Believe that you can actually do this. And then do one of three things. One, you could schedule a one-on-one consultation with me by simply going to thrivetimeshow.com and scheduling that free 13-point assessment. Now, our team is going to vet you, make sure you're not psychologically impaired or your dream is not delusional. Now, move number two. You could book your attendance at our in-person Thrive Time Show workshop. The tickets are normally $250, but if you want to attend the workshops because maybe you're in a spot right now where financially you're kind of strapped, just subscribe to the Thrive Time Show podcast and leave us an objective review. And after you leave us an objective review, take a screenshot of the review and email it to info@thrivetimeshow.com, and we'll give you tickets for just $37. Or maybe the Thrive Time Show Business School is the right move for you. Maybe it is. Listen, it's only $19 a month. And when you subscribe to the Thrive Time Show Business School, here's what you get. You get access to a massive amount of videos. We have over 3,000 training videos taught by the world's business leaders. You can watch those videos. That alone has tremendous value. Also, you get to attend one in-person workshop per year. Now, if you think about it, if you go to, Harvard, the average graduate debt sits at around $101,000. If you go to Oral Roberts University, let's say you go to Tulsa University, you're going to spend $35,855 per year. If you go to the Harvard Business School, you're going to spend $66,000 per year. If you go to the Wharton Business School, you're going to spend $64,828 per year. If you subscribe to the Thrive Time Show Business School, it's month to month, and it's as little as $19 a month. Check it out today by going to thrivetimeshow.com. And now, without any further ado, we like to end each and every show and win of the week with a boom, because boom stands for big, overwhelming, optimistic momentum. And now, without any further ado, here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom! The Thrive Time Show 2-day interactive business workshops are the highest and most reviewed business workshops on the planet. You can learn the proven 13-point business systems that Dr. Zellner and I have used over and over to start and grow successful companies. I mean, we get into the specific steps on what you need to do to optimize your website. We're going to teach you how to fix your conversion rate. We're going to teach you how to do a social media marketing campaign that works. How do you raise capital? How do you get a small business loan? We teach you everything you need to know here during a 2-day, 15-hour workshop. It's all here for you. You work every day in your business, but for 2 days you can escape and work on your business and build these proven systems so now you can have a successful company that will produce both the time freedom and the financial freedom that you deserve. You're going to leave energized, motivated, but you're also going to leave empowered. The reason why I've built these workshops is because as an entrepreneur, I always wish that I had this. And because there wasn't anything like this, I would go to these motivational seminars, no money down, real estate, Ponzi scheme, get motivated seminars, and they would never teach me anything. It was like you went there and you paid for the big chocolate Easter bunny, but inside of it was a hollow nothingness. And I wanted the knowledge, and they're like, oh, but we'll teach you the knowledge after our next workshop. And the great thing is we have nothing to upsell. At every workshop, we teach you what you need to know. There's no one in the back of the room trying to sell you some next big get-rich-quick, walk-on-hot coals product. It's literally, we teach you the brass tacks, the specific stuff that you need to know to learn how to start and grow a business. And I encourage you to not believe what I'm saying, and I want you to Google the Z66 auto auction. I want you to Google elephant in the room. Look at Robert Zellner and Associates. Look them up and say, are they successful because they're geniuses, or are they successful because they have a proven system? When you do that research, you will discover that the same systems that we use in our own business can be used in your business. Come to Tulsa, book a ticket, and I guarantee you it's going to be the best business workshop ever, and we'll even give you your money back if you don't love it. We've built this facility for you, and we're excited to see you.